Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Doodle Stream. I know it's been a little while. We're every Friday, unless I'm not here, unless I'm not doing this, which I will let you know. I'll always let you know ahead of time. We spend 3 hours together on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, sometimes when it works, while I attempt to doodle out your ideas and suggestions from the chat. I pick the theme, and you pitch the ideas. Before we dive into doodles for today, I'd like to remind everyone where you can find me outside of our time here together. Boom, right there's on the screen is my website, KevinAHinkle.com. I do have a dynamically updated portfolio now, which means every single time I finish a new piece of artwork and I upload it to a secret magical file, it automatically updates my website. And I did test that several times. So it works. So if you're ever interested in seeing my complete body of work, including commissions, personal work, all that stuff, you can check it out on my website. You can also find me on social media at MrHinkleDraws on all the different places if you have interest. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscription button if you're watching on YouTube, or follow on Twitch and Facebook. Hit all the likes, hit all the hearts, validate my entire career as an artist. It would be greatly appreciated. If it's within your means, please consider supporting my work over on Patreon. Patreon helps content creators like myself, like many others, by providing a platform for their fans to pledge continuous financial support. Tiers are as low as $1 a month, and you have a vault of content that you can access for that single dollar a month, including all the artwork we draw here on this stream that you can use for anything, even printing your own stuff like stickers and shirts. It's totally fine. It's totally cool. One of the rewards for supporting me on Patreon is a shout out during all videos and live streams. So all the names you see before you have already pledged your support. So thank you guys again for what you do to allow me to do what I do. So please head over to patreon.com/MrHinkleDraws to see all the information there. And please consider joining. It means a lot and it makes a huge difference. That out of the way, speaking of Patreon, we are actually taking themes from my Patreon community for the foreseeable future. So today's stream is themed flight, and it is sponsored by HawkeyeLegoman. So thank you, Hawkeye. I appreciate your continuous support over on Patreon. And I do ask my patrons once we get to their theme if they have something in mind that they'd like me to work on while we're getting warmed up. And he wanted a hawk on fire with flaming eyes. So there you go. But it's all about flight today. Helping me out, making sure that you guys are behaving? Nah, probably not. Just making sure you guys are entertained in the chat. We've got Brian Saviano back with us again, in case you missed him. What's up, Brian?
Isn't a hawk on fire a phoenix?
I mean, it is. It could also be like a meal. It could be a lunch.
Tastes like chicken nuggets.
Tastes like chicken. Hello to everybody who's watching already. What's up? Bobo Laveau, Larry Legend is here. Steve is here. Deanna's here. Bad Deanna. Interesting. I guess we have a name change there.
It's a whole thing.
It's a thing. It's a thing, everybody. I love things. All right. So welcome back. I appreciate you guys being here. I'm not anticipating it to be too crazy. I was telling Brian that the numbers have been steadily dropping week to week, and I know I've missed a few because of, scout camp, emergency surgery, traveling, and so that consistency does rock the boat a little bit. But I can never help but chuckle when it's like, oh, the consistency's not the best. Well, it's also been consistent for years, so it's like whatever. But I digress. I'm not anticipating lots of action, but I appreciate everybody that's here. And we're going to draw things that have to do with flight.
It's also the world opening back up too. It's summertime. July is like the prime month for like, hey, let's go do a thing. So
there's a lot of things to be done.
There's a lot of things to be done, So I've seen a dip in my numbers too. It happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna start drawing Aang's air glider that Steve suggested, so we can start drawing something while we talk. And I've mentioned this a couple times on air and also off air with people. I'm pretty settled in that when we get into 2022, this show is going to switch to Friday nights. I'm pretty settled on that. Because I think 3 years is a pretty good concentrated effort at, building momentum at a time and date. And I think it's exceeded. It's done what it can do. I don't think it can do anything else. So that will happen. Don't worry. We'll talk about it a lot more as we actually get closer to the end of the year. Avatar. I'm also a tad bit rusty, just so you guys know, because of the inconsistency. And there's also not going to be a stream next Friday because I'm going to be traveling again.
Hey.
Yep. So next week is Terrificon. Terrificon is a even larger show than the show I was at 2 weeks ago, and that will be happening at the Mohegan Sun Casino in Connecticut. It's properly in Uncasville, but nobody knows. I mean, basically the town is Mohegan Sun. It's like the town is the casino. And that casino is gigantic.
Right.
I remember I went to a concert. Who did I see? Man, who did I see? Oh, you know what? I think it was Smashing Pumpkins. I went and saw Smashing Pumpkins, my wife and I, at Mohegan Sun. And whoever was like the band before them, there was several actually, said like, how's it going? And then he like paused. He's like, Uncasville. He's like, where are we? it was like this really funny moment. And he's like, anybody here from Uncasville? And like nobody, like there was no audience reaction. He's like, this is just a casino, isn't it? So, yeah, but it was pretty funny. So that's next week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I'm pretty excited about that. So we'll see how that goes. Larry says, oh wait, Bubble of wait, what time Friday? I'm thinking 5 to 8 because I like the 3 hours. So that's kind of my plan. But I mean, there's still months ahead of me to reconsider or whatever, but I'm pretty confident that's what we're gonna do.
So Bobo, that basically means after Fortnite Fridays, I can raid Kevin, or maybe Fortnite Fridays will be canceled by then. Who knows? Roll the dice.
You love Fortnite Fridays. It's your favorite thing. How was camp? Camp was really good. Camp was really, really good, actually. My son had a wonderful time, and he was typical kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to go to camp. I want to be lazy. I don't want to do anything. Why'd you sign me up for this? All the way up until like the drive there, right? And then it was over, and he's like, "Can I come back next week?" And I'm like, "Nope, I only signed you up for 1 week." So I was like, "Oh," he like got really upset. He had an absolute blast, and the schedule was like jam packed. Like they were busy all the time, constantly. And I was there the whole time. And it was really interesting because for a couple different reasons. It's interesting because I was an adult leader. So I was kind of tasked with making sure my group of kids didn't do anything too crazy. And just kind of really made sure that they were getting from activity to activity. Mm-hmm. And a couple things. I got to see what it's like to be a teacher. There's a lot of like, stop hitting that person. Stop hitting him. Listen, he said stop. Pay attention. Yep. Pay attention. We're over here. We're over here. This way. This way. And a lot of repeat. I've never in my life have I repeated myself more than I repeated myself during that week. And I'm already a parent, so all my other fellow parents know that we repeat ourselves constantly. I mean, you have to repeat yourself constantly just when you're doing streams and stuff. So imagine that all the time about life. And it was like pretty ridiculous. Oops. Whoops. That's not what I wanted. It was pretty ridiculous how much I'd have to repeat myself. I'd be like, hey, what's a good example? Grab your water bottle. I'm like, grab your water bottle, everybody. We're going to the next thing. Grab your water bottle. Grab your water. Like I'd literally sit there and I'd be like, grab your water bottle. Grab your water bottle. Grab. I'd say like 3 times in close succession. And some would do it. Some would ignore me. And we get to the next thing. And then the kid would be like, I don't have my water bottle. I'm really thirsty.
Yep.
And I'd be like, hey, you remember like 5 minutes ago when I said you should bring your water bottle? You should have brought your water bottle. Oh, so yeah, but it was pretty good. It was hot. It was hot. And the other interesting thing is during lunch, right? Like when we're sitting there and like we have these fleeting moments of like a break when you're at lunchtime, so we're not really doing anything. And so, I had my lunch and I just kind of sat there, and so I started drawing because they'd have like paper and stuff at a lot of the areas in case the kids were bored and stuff. And so I started drawing, and of course, you know how this goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, you're a good drawer. I was like, yeah, this is kind of what I do. And that escalated through the course of the week. I really wasn't trying to do any. I was just, I was sitting there kind of bored. So I was like, well, they're eating. We're not doing anything. So I'm going to draw stuff. And so I had drawn one of the like cabins while we were sitting there. And then my secret was out. And then they're like, do you do this like for a living? I'm like, yeah. And then they're like, do you do anything online? I'm like, yeah. So by the end of the week, I had a lot of kids that I'm like, ask your parents if it's okay if you subscribe to my channel first, okay? I don't need you going home and being like, Mr. Hinkle was hawking his wares on the kids. That's not what I was trying to do. That was not my intentions. A lot of the staff too, like a lot of the staff were like, do you have business cards? So that was fun. I wasn't trying to make it like that, but that's how that ended up. And I had one kid that came back the next day and he was like, I saw your YouTube channel last night. I was like, okay, all right. And he's like, I saw your Daft Punk video. That was really cool. I really like it. Thank you. I don't know how to take this. But so that was fun.
Hey, at least he knows what Daft Punk is.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised. I think he was like 8. What's up, Bricks and Mortar? Hello, welcome. Let's see. Larry says lots of paper lying around in case Kevin gets bored. Yeah. Right. Fungusville. What's Fungusville? Camp? It was very like hot and humid. And you know what I'm really impressed with? So mosquitoes eat me alive. Right? I went outside in my backyard to mow last weekend. I was outside for 10 minutes and I got a mosquito bite on my left arm. And it was like afternoon, not even like dusk or dawn, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, God, I hate mosquito. Like they eat me alive. And what's up, Mike? Welcome. And so I took the giant like deep woods bug spray and I sprayed myself every day I was at camp. I sprayed before I left. I sprayed when I got there. I sprayed at lunch. I sprayed in the afternoon. And I didn't get a single mosquito bite the entire week I was in summer.
Nice.
I mean, the kids were like being eaten. They're like, Mr. Hinkle, we're getting attacked by swarms of mosquitoes. I was like, did you bring bug spray? No. I was like, well, bring some bug spray tomorrow. All right, let me draw another thing. What do we got? What do we got here? What's a Japanese flying squid? Does it actually fly?
I guess a squid that flies, yeah.
That seems terrifying. Let me see what this looks like. Japanese flying squid. And again, thank you to... Wait, these are totally out of the water. Oh my goodness, that's terrifying. All right, I'll draw this flying squid. Thank you to everybody who's here. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, up to 30 feet. Bolivo, wow. Milan, hello, welcome. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, let's do the Japanese flying squid. There we go, on screen. So, yes, but camp was good. They did all the things that you would assume you would do in a summer camp, swimming, hiking. We did archery. They shot BB guns that I was not anticipating. I was like,
Did they shoot each other at all?
They didn't.
That's good.
The staff was very good about like all the safety stuff. Like they never even stood. They technically did it seated. So they were sitting, they were every step of the way, they were checking like the safety and I mean, all that kind of stuff. But I just didn't even assume it was going to be on the schedule. I'm like, oh, we're shooting guns. You guys are like 6 and 7 and 8. but they did it. And we did we did whittling, like we learned whittling, but we used like bars of soap because it's funny. It's like, well, you guys are little kids, so you don't want to be too dangerous. You whittle with soap, but here's a gun.
Right.
So, but they did whittling with soap, and we learned rocks and minerals. We did like bird watching and learned about the different birds that were native to the area. And this was a major summer camp. This is like a scout reservation. And they were saying that during that week, the program runs for 6 weeks during the summer. I mean, they do all kinds of stuff all year long, but the summer camp program runs for 6 weeks, and scouts of different ages can register for what week they want to. And so each program is a week long, but there's staff that are there obviously the whole time. And at the time we were there, they said currently the grounds had 300 human beings on it. So there was a lot of kids. And at the end, there's like this huge celebration parade at the end of the week to close out the week with all the different scouts, Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, Venture Scouts, like just everybody. And they do a big parade across the grounds, and everybody's in full uniform, and they have a barbecue, and they give out awards. And it was actually pretty cool. My older son, when he went through Boy Scouts, we did not do that camp because he never did Cub Scouts. He went straight to Boy Scouts. And my younger son, of course, because he sees his older brother and he's like, I want to be a scout. And it's like, well, you're too young. You can't do Boy Scouts until you're 10. So that's how he got into Cub Scouts, because he was very anxious to be like his brother earlier than his brother was. So
I remember going to summer camp, I think 1 year, and I remembered how miserable I was, and that was the end of that.
Oh, really? What kind of camp was it?
It was just Boys and Girls Club, like standard,
Yeah.
like do activities. I don't even remember it really, if I'm being totally honest, but I remember.
You just remember the feeling of being miserable?
Yes, because I'm just not an outdoorsy guy. Like, there's too many factors of something trying to kill you, you sweating, it being way too hot. Like, I don't like that grime or that illusion of survival being in like the campground or something. Like, I just don't like it.
Yep. All right, we got a bunch of cool suggestions here. Larry's on a roll, throwing a bunch in there. Let's see. Steve says, and the tape is like, sit down, stop hitting him. Is that gum? Is that gum? Is that gum? Let's see. Mike says the Hindenburg. Yep, that's a. You know what? That's actually probably a good one for this part of the show because we're in black and white. So we'll do Hindenburg. Let's see. And of course, it's going to be that classic image. Yeah, it is. Yep.
Or it's exploding.
Yeah, in the plume of fire.
Why wouldn't it be?
Our special guest, the sponsor, is here. HawkeyeLegoman. Hello. Love the Hawk. Thank you. Hashtag ad. You know what's funny is when I do the posts on Instagram and I say, like, here's our doodles from this week. This was our show. This was the theme. And it was sponsored by this person. I get these like alerts from Instagram and they're like, this post is clearly sponsored and you have not adhered to community. I'm like, nah, get out of here. I know what I'm doing. This is not like thank you to Tresemme for sponsoring my hair product, And so, but like, I got to go through this rigmarole every time. And I got to like, do the little, like, do you agree? Or I'm like, I disagree. You don't know what you're talking about. And it's kind of annoying. And I think it also kind of gets slightly hidden in like search results and stuff because of that.
Yeah, I would advise you don't put like sponsored by, because there's a very notorious thing where people will like not disclose their advertisements, and that's very illegal for them to do so. And yeah, that totally sounds like something Facebook or Instagram would do algorithmically to suppress, false advertising or misleading advertising.
Yeah, maybe I'll come up with a different phrasing, but it's like, yeah, I got you. It's annoying, but yeah, I also understand. It's all clearly just, scripts and bots and things like that that are official bots, but bots nonetheless. Bots nonetheless. Last day in Memphis today. Oh, well, hope that's been fun for you. Let's see. I want to do this kind of like tower thing.
Oh, also a reason a lot of cool kids might not be around. They're all in Houston.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Lego peeps.
All those people.
All the Lego peeps.
And although we won't harp on the subject, I will say ahead of next week, in case anyone will be there, I'll be at Brick Fair, Virginia, just saying hello and doing all the things. So,
yeah, and just in case, I'm sure there's some of you out there. Just in case you didn't get a chance to buy the Lego artwork stuff that I was selling once upon a time before it was all gone. And you were like, man, I kind of wanted to get, X, Y, or Z. There will be a vendor there that bought out my entire stock of Lego stuff when I stopped that. It was not Brian. And they will be there. They're Brixolotl. You'll, as soon as you see them, be like, oh yeah, I see them everywhere. They're at almost every show. Ironically, they're not at Brick Rodeo this weekend. But if that was something that you were interested in, they're there and they had everything. There was very little items that I had none of, right? So like if there was something you saw that I did, chances are they have it. And they'll be selling it. Just, I don't get any cut of that. I'm out. I'm totally out. So it is all them, but they will have it if you were interested in it and you missed your chance to get it. It will be there and they have pretty much everything.
So basically, don't bother you for any more of that sort of artwork. If anything, bother them.
Yeah, because they have it. Well, they have whatever's left. They have, and it is truly a one and done. We did have some discussions about, well, can we buy rights to the designs and keep printing them? And I said, no, you cannot. You will have a remaining inventory, and that is the end of the items. And my name will not be relating to these items anymore.
Wow.
So, I mean, I did think on it because I'm like, money's money and support the family, but I'm like, no, I really need to get out. So
hashtag business, hashtag marketing.
Yeah,
Kevin's out.
I'm out. So when those are done, they are done. But they do have like all of it. It's all there. I think the only thing that I actually truly didn't have was like the political stuff, because I had those for like the inauguration and things. So there's really only like 2 designs you can't get.
Right.
I'll take your entire stock, Mullet. That's exactly what the conversation was. Just drawing giant disasters. See you later, Hawkeye. Let's see. Is it Victoria's Secret? Because I like that name. No, that's a great name. It's an awesome name, actually.
That show is happening in Nebraska. Who goes to Nebraska? Who cares about Nebraska?
Oh, yeah, there's another thing happening there, too.
I'm really like the worst, aren't I? Who cares about Nebraska? Totally disregard everything going on.
An entire population of people in the state. That's nice of you. I've never been to Nebraska. Well, I mean, somebody was there because they formed the state.
Well, that's what they like to tell you. That's what they
is that the word on the street?
That's the word somewhere, not on the streets. They're still on gravel roads over there.
Oh, I took my kids to go see Black Widow yesterday.
Oh yeah, you didn't use my credentials?
No, I wanted to see it in the movie theater, and I'm glad I did. I thought it was good. You know what? It wasn't what I expected it to be, which is good, because I expected it to just be this whole thing is like her childhood life. I was like expecting 100% prequel, like this is how she got to where she was in like the first movie. And that's not really what it was, and that's okay. I'm like, but my biggest exciting moment was that post credit, and I was like, look, everything's connected.
Yeah,
like, that's nice. But yeah, there was some good stuff. I enjoyed it. It actually takes a lot for me to not enjoy, I think, a Marvel movie at this point. It's like Pixar. At this point, I kind of default like it, and it takes a lot for me not to like it.
Right. That's fair.
I
enjoyed it for what it was. I wasn't like over the moon for it. I watched it. So the weird thing about Disney Plus is when I watch Loki Falcon and Winter Soldier, almost any like non-movie. It'll play in 4K on my computer. And then when I watched Black Widow, it defaulted to being like 720p or lower. And it's to prevent against like copyright, so you can't record it and whatever, right?
Are you sure it's not to preserve Zack Snyder's creative vision?
So there was that, and I'm like, why am I watching the Marvel shows literally in 4K, and then Black Widow, Disney's like, oh no, but not this one. Like, so I watched it in like subpar quality, which was not great. But whatever. Yeah. It was like a Friday night. I was eating pizza. I'm like, I don't care. It's fine.
Larry says, only people like me that are landlocked in the center of the country and can't get to Virginia. Brian, all caps. All caps. Larry says Black Widow was pretty okay. What's up, Ray? Ray's here. Funny Figs. Hello. Mike
Ray,
says, looks good, Kevin. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. If you flip the TVA logo it spells Val.
All right, listen. That's Watch Mojo trying to get some clicks. That means nothing.
I was like, that seems like a stretch. It's but out of the out of the 3 Disney Plus series so far, Loki was definitely my favorite.
You know, I can't really put a finger on the pulse of which one I like more.
All right, Kite Man from DC is going to go next. I feel like I've liked all 3 of them for very different reasons, but Loki has been like the biggest, like, okay, this changes everything. It's like, all right, we're in. We're in.
The issue with a lot of these shows, though, as they go on, like, okay, let's say you're watching the MCU for kind of sort of the first time. You don't really know a lot about what's going on. Like, the multiverse is a very, like, crazy thing to keep track of. And, like, man.
Oh, yeah. If you weren't sitting here watching all this stuff, you'd be done.
Although, okay, so here's a really, really cool note that I don't know if you saw this online. I didn't tag you in it on Twitter, I don't think. But if you play WandaVision, the final episode, and Loki at the final episode, and spoilers for these shows, everyone. In the final episode of Loki, you know, when He Who Remains has that moment where he's just like paused and he's like, we have crossed the threshold.
Yeah. What's up?
At that exact same moment in WandaVision, that's when she's getting her powers, time-wise, like the time of the episodes.
Yeah.
So like, that's the moment. I'm like, ah!
It's great. It's amazing. I'm so astonished at what they've been able to accomplish with this. It just really is incredible. But yes, what's up, Brett? Welcome. Ray says, did I miss us talking about how there are 90 million conventions happening this weekend? Yeah, a little bit. We did talk about it a little bit.
Well, there's 2 Lego ones. Well, technically only one, because one's in Nebraska. Nebraska doesn't exist. So there's really only one in Houston.
That's true. Brian did already say that.
Ray, you going to Virginia? Am I seeing you in Virginia? Who am I not seeing in Virginia at this rate? I'm definitely not seeing Kevin.
You're not seeing me. Hey-o. Hey, you know what? I booked. I was looking at hotels for Fan Expo Boston, and I'm like, I wasn't expecting. I'm like, oh no, this is going to be awful. I know it. It's Boston. And yeah, it's like, here you could get this awesome hotel at a bargain for $500 a night. Like, what? But I actually found an amazing. It's got to be one of those too good to be true deals. It has to be. I already booked it. So we'll see. But it's like downtown, and it's like a very small like inn where it's got like 4 rooms and that's it. It had a lot of reviews. It wasn't like a sketchy website. I went to Trivago, I think, and had tons of reviews. And there is a shared bathroom, but I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I'm not spending $500. I'm not going to blow my entire sales on my hotel room. And so the shared bathroom was the only thing. I'm like, okay, one shared bathroom. I think I can live with it. for $75 a night.
Oh my goodness.
Downtown next to some school. What's the school that's there in downtown Boston? A major school.
I mean, you could. I mean, I don't. It could be any school.
Could it really? Like, I'm trying to think. Is Cambridge there, or am I making that up? Is that UK?
Well, Cambridge is like not downtown Boston. It's across the river.
Yeah, because it had like, because it was listing it, as like a selling point. It's like close to these colleges, and it like listed them.
If it's close to colleges, it might be Cambridge.
I think that was the name that I saw. But yeah, $75 a night, which is basically what I paid for at that place I stayed in for the other show that I just did, the new Northeast.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, that'll do. And I also booked one extra night so that, because, I came back after I set up in the last show, and then I went back Friday. Like, I came home after I did set up on Thursday night, and right. I'm not going to do that for Fan Expo Boston. I'm going to set up and then stay there. Bubble Laveau says Brian's office chair is not good enough for you. There are 3 happening in Oklahoma this weekend. And Ray says, weirdly, I don't do well in Virginia. That's weird. That is weird. That is very weird, Ray. So I thought that was a pretty good deal. I hope it doesn't end up being one of those like, I got robbed. But, like I said, there was a lot of favorable reviews, and it wasn't like it was made up. So I was like, all right, I'm going to book it. So I booked it. But yeah, that's the trouble with all this stuff. The life of selling at shows is like, yes, I want to go to the shows. I want to make money, but I can't like literally lose all of my money I made on getting myself there. Cause then what's the point of going? Like that's,
right, exactly.
I can't blow all my money on travel expenses that I would make at the show. That's just stupid. So that's been the most expensive. I mean, it's Boston, right? What do you expect? It's been the most expensive destination so far that I've had to plan for.
Yeah, and hopefully it'll be worth it. That's the idea.
I mean, that's a major event. I think I said this on the show a couple of weeks ago or whatever, but there was major industry artists like from Marvel at the Northeast Comic Con that were talking amongst themselves, and they were talking about how like one of them couldn't get into Fan Expo Boston, and I was like, I got in. I was like, oh no, what have I done? Let's see. It's not actually that weird. I do badly at Lego shows that cater more to grown-ups. Yeah, I guess I could see that, right? This is like what we talked about. I think you and I talked about this forever ago, Brian, about like a lot of the adult Lego fans are not really interested in buying stuff that's not bricks. They just want more bricks.
Which is why I'm bringing a lot of bricks to Virginia.
Yeah, exactly. Including some bricks that you may acquire from my stash.
Yeah, I've been meaning to talk to you about that. So my plan is to be, details of which could be talked about over, whatever. But I plan on being at your place Wednesday at noonish.
Okay.
So
I think that's fine.
It better be, because otherwise I'm not carting your stuff to Virginia.
I know. Let me Wednesday. No, yep, that's fine. It's crazy because I have stuff Monday, I have stuff Tuesday, free Wednesday, and then I'm at the event Thursday, Friday. So it's like literally the only day is that Wednesday that I'm just here at home. So that's great. It's like you planned it.
It's perfect.
Yes.
Give me like 5 minutes. I'll be right back.
I'll be right here. So I lost my image. I don't even know where this is. Oh, is this from? I think this is how he looks in Harley Quinn. I think I just Googled his name and was just drawing whatever was a pose I liked. Bubble Vote says, I will meet in the parking lot for bricks. Let's see. How many shows a year before you upgrade to the sleeper van? Well, I have a van. I drive a Dodge Caravan, which is pretty good. And I stick to like drivable distance. And I've slept in my car before. I've done actually a lot of camping stuff with scouts where I've slept in the car because one we don't actually. Well, my son has a tent. My older son has a tent, but I don't have a tent because I've never really needed a tent. And so the camp trips we've done, they're like, well, you sleep in your tent, I'll sleep in the car. It's fine. So I wouldn't be against it. There was also one year where they had like rented a cabin for the dads, and I was ill prepared for for like 30 dads snoring. I was like, I tried. I slept in it like one night, and it was like a 3-night thing. And I'm like, I'll sleep in my car the rest of the trip. All right, I think I'm good with. Okay, man. I'm a little rusty, just so you guys know. I'm a little rusty. I haven't drawn on the tablet in like 2 weeks. And a lot of my work I've been doing over the last couple weeks has been in Illustrator. So mostly mouse stuff, not like, except that when I was at camp drawing on random sheets of paper. What's up, Lindsay? Good morning. Welcome. Ray says Airbnb used to be that way, but they've gotten expensive too. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, tell me you hung with the comic dude. No, not the like industry guys. No, I was hanging out with like the snoring ensemble sounds. It's awful. Like I don't mind sleeping in the room with someone who snores. I've done that several times. It's just like a room of like 20 people snoring is like awful. Like, oh my goodness. I was hanging out with like the small, artists. I mean, I don't mean that in a, bad way. Just like, folks that are like, oh, it's my first show or my second show. I make my own this, my own that, own comics, own whatever. I was not hanging out with like the Marvel and DC artists. No. All right, let's do another one. Let's do, let's see. Today's all about flight. Whatever flight means to you. Oh, you know what? That is a pretty good one. A Chinook helicopter. Let's do that one. Man. Does that disappoint you, Ray? I wasn't about to go like, hey, everybody. Just like barge in there. They had their own like rapport going on. They were all together. Like it was just like, yeah, they knew what they were doing. I think I'll do this. This is a pretty good reference photo. Milan says, looks good. Thanks for picking my suggestion. Absolutely. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. So yeah, next week is Terrificon at the Mohegan Sun Casino in Connecticut. So I will not be doing a stream again. I apologize. It's too much. Can't do it all at the same time. But I do talk about the show quite a bit. Or I did last time. I plan to do the same this time. I also gained quite a few subs, which wasn't necessarily my goal. My goal is to make money. My goal is to sell products and make money. That's my goal. But when people are asking questions like, oh, what is this? What is that? I guess I should start packing up. Yeah, you probably should do that, right? Good luck. Hope you have a good day. Go get him, Tiger. You're a professional. You do this all the time. It's like riding a bike. Thanks for stopping by for a little bit. Appreciate it. I don't even remember what I was saying. See, this is like the bottom. We're like looking up at it. Comes up to a point. Something like this action here. Yeah. Oh, so yeah, I was saying that talk to a lot of people about the show in general because I have some filler prints because I don't have my new prints done yet. I think that's the next thing I'm going to do. The next thing I'm going to work on are my new art prints for the year. I'm really behind on it. I just finished the cat stickers. So anybody that supports me over on Patreon, they already got a sneak peek of all the cat stickers. So wave 2 of pet portraits are done, which is exciting. I was kind of excited when I made the observation that I have more. I have a wave. The largest wave of stickers I have currently to date is pets, and that's 20, and that's non-copyrighted. So it made me happy. Like, this is non-copyrighted material. This is my material. You can't do anything about this. And the next one will be zoo animals. But I think the next thing I need to work on, that's too many windows. The next thing I need to work on is my art prints. Because I want to do like 4 more art prints this year. I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but I really need to. Some of these little bolts and stuff. So because I don't have new art prints, I have a lot of space on my table. So I kind of just put up the Doodle Stream prints, which I don't have any really for sale. They've already sold out. You guys know I did that only as a pre-order. So they're kind of my copies. And if somebody wants to buy them, I will sell them to them. Somebody bought one at the last show, and I wasn't expecting to sell any, but I was like, well, there goes my copy of that one. It's fine. I mean, I can always order another one, I guess. And I plan to order more at the end of the year when we do the new prints, but it's a conversation starter, I noticed.
Oh, here's an idea. Why don't you and Ray do a show together?
Oh no, you got to come with me. You're in my pocket oh, good. Well, we're all with Ray now, everybody. We're in Ray's pocket.
Yeah, but why don't you actually do it?
Well, it'd have to be somewhere in between. I'm not against that. It's just got to be some place where we're.
Yeah, not to publicly, toss the idea out there, but that'd be kind of a baller idea if you guys had a bam right next to each other. That'd be sick.
Yeah, I would love to be at a show with Ray. And this is, I've always enjoyed hanging out with Ray. I hang out with Ray every time I can at shows, but I've never really had a chance to be at a show with Ray where we're both being artists and both have artist tables and both doing our thing, right? It's always been like I'm doing staff setup and he's doing his thing. That's mostly our interactions. That would be cool. I'd be down if we can make it work. I'd love to do shows that are further away. If I could really streamline all my stuff and get it to checkable luggage and things.
Yeah.
Which is super possible. People do it all the time. I'm digging this helicopter. I think this is my favorite so far. Let's see. Oh, the rat bird from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Ew, it's dark and smelly in here. This is in Ray's pocket. Ew, it's gross. All right. We need to do the propellers. I need to shrink it.
So what else you got going on for this week?
So before the show, because once we get to Thursday, it's showtime. So I need to work on. I had a commission that I was in the middle of working on, not Lego related. Commission I was working on, I was in the middle of it, and then I had to stop for summer camp, and then I didn't work on it at all this week because I was desperately trying to finish those cats. I'm like, I need to get these cats done. And so I need to get his finished because I feel a little bad about that. Mm-hmm. So that's number one priority is getting back to his project. And it's a repeat client, which is always good. And then once I get that done, what will I do after I get that done? I might start working on the prints, maybe. That's the next main priority that I need to do. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. This would be going this way, and think they go opposing ways, don't they? Isn't that how this works?
I think so.
Right? Like
Otherwise-
one goes one way and the other goes the other way. Like they spin in opposite directions.
Yeah, that kind of seems
Like it's a thing, right? It seems like a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, so like I was telling you privately, it does warm my heart that you're playing more Zelda games because I thought you might not be interested in doing that.
Oh, wait, then I'm playing what?
More Zelda games.
Oh, yeah.
Because like I didn't, after I felt like after Link's Awakening, why did I delete? I like that. Let me put it back. There we go. After Link's Awakening, you were kind of like disappointed. And I was like, I think that's out. I think we lost him. I think that was the end. Like I had no doubt that you would play Breath of the Wild 2. But I was like, I think he's out for the franchise. So
yeah. I mean, I don't like. I'm not inherently a Zelda fan. Admittedly, I'm playing it because I know that's the newest game and people would want me to play it and it keeps me busy.
Yeah.
And it's leading into Breath of the Wild 2, so there's a lot of interest with younger people. So
yeah. I mean, for as much as everybody that's a fan of every company, Nintendo included, we all think that, they don't know what they're talking about. I mean, they probably have some kind of plan of why they would release this game right now at this time or re-release it.
And
There's got to be some. There's got to be some kind of forethought.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites only because of the relevance to every bit of story, the entire franchise. That's it. I don't think like the gameplay is like stellar or like it's got the best look and feel of the series. Like, no, it's just like every time you turn around in that game, you're like, oh, that's why that happened. Like, I swear, every aspect of that game is like, oh, that's why that person does this. And that's why that's the way that is. And that's why it looks like this. And that, it's like, it's amazing. And I love that kind of stuff. I'm a sucker for tying the story together and stuff like that. And so I laugh because I know that you're not as invested in the Zelda franchise. So you keep making comments in your video, your playthroughs. And I'm like, nope, that's wrong. But okay. And it's just great because if you didn't know, that's exactly what you should think.
Right.
So far, my favorite is Zelda, Link, and Ganon obviously are in this game. That's my favorite. So far, like that one is my favorite.
I know obviously. Because someone was like, oh, you clearly, Brian, excuse me. It's not Ganon. It's Demise.
But even that, like, I mean, even if you know that, there's a great little bit that like, that I remember when I beat that game and I was like, that is why we keep doing this every single game. I remember like dropping the controller. I'm like, I'm in. Take me. I'm in. Thank you. Dang, that's a good helicopter. Appreciate it, Larry. And Boba Laveau, thank you. And right. Yeah, I might have warmed up now, maybe.
And yes, by the way, that is how I hear all of these kids that comment on YouTube all the time. Brian, did you know that?
It's just funny. The thing that makes me laugh is that it's not like, oh, I think they're in this game, or I think, it's just like, guys, obviously this is how it's gonna be. It's just like,
well, every game it's like the same thing.
It is. It absolutely is. So yeah. All right, let's see. What's another one? Let's do another one. What do we got in here? I do want to do this rat bird because that's a funny. Rat birds are funny. You remember the rat bird from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs?
I don't watch movies.
Well, that's a shame. I mean, you just talked about how you saw whatever it was.
Black Widow.
Yeah, that's different. It's not a movie.
That's just a time.
That's just a time. Yeah. Her quote unquote her sister was pretty hilarious. I was very entertained. Yelena, right? Yelena.
Yelena.
Why do you do this? What do I do? What? Why you do this? You a poser. That's like totally how sisters. That's how my wife and her sister. She's got how many sisters? Do you have 3 sisters? 4 sisters. That's exactly how they act. Constantly making fun of themselves It's such an ugly bird.
So here's a pivot in discussion topic because I've been doing this a little bit on the side, trying to prepare for the future. And this is a much less serious topic than you might anticipate by the way I phrased it up. But I am currently planning a trip to the Disney World with a few friends of mine. And I was curious if you had ever been.
No, I have not. So the closest I wouldn't say there's no interest. So when I was a kid, my parents, we did like a couple like big road trips, like in my youth. And one of the big trips we did was to Florida. And my parents asked me and my sister, because it was just us at the time. I don't think my younger siblings were born yet. If we had a preference of going to Universal Studios or Disney World, because we could only choose one. And I didn't really grow up like a hardcore Disney kid. Like I like Disney and stuff, but like we didn't, watch the Disney Channel or anything. Like I wasn't a big Disney kid. I just liked some of the Disney movies, but I wasn't as enamored with the overall Disney universe. And so we chose Universal Studios. And I had a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. But so we didn't go to Walt Disney World. And in my adulthood, I have never, I had a meeting one year when I was still a manager for Lego, when we went to Orlando and had a conference that was like on the grounds, right? Because it's like, host your next business meeting at Walt Disney World. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, of course.
And so we were on the grounds, but we never like went to the park. So I remember like sitting in a conference room with like Mickey everything, right? Like Mickey water bottles and Mickey pens and like, but it's totally a business meeting. And it was like in a really nice conference center where you're watching families like explore the park, because it's like on the outskirts of the park. So you could see into the park, but you're not in the park. And right. I'm like, this kind of is lame. I was like, I'm sitting here watching these people enjoy their vacations while I'm having a meeting. I don't think this has the effect that you think it has. So that was as close as I got to it. But I would like to go. I honestly don't know if I would like to go with my kids or not. I feel like that's because I feel like that's a lot of work. There's something about like I love my kids, right? And I like doing stuff with them but it's like, all the meltdowns and just it just seems like so much work.
Okay, so I feel like for your older son, there's the point in like, going back to the past, probably from like middle school, maybe early high school, he would want to go, and then you enter that phase of like, nah, I'm good. He wouldn't appreciate it as much as you should, going on a trip to Disney, spending thousands of dollars to be there, whatever. And then you hit my age where you're like, yeah, all right, let's go and let's do it, because now you have a little, group of friends you can go with, or finagle it somehow to go. And you got to really appreciate the experience for what it is when you hit a certain age. And then with the little one, if you're taking just him, like it helps if you have other kids going with you, I think,
Yeah. I mean, I love to see, I do enjoy spending time with kids. I've always really liked, kids, despite my earlier story about repeating myself in camp. That was challenging, but I like kids. I've always liked kids. And I enjoy seeing them like just be really excited and just digging stuff. It just seems like, I don't know. It just seems like overwhelming. It just seems like then more of it is about making sure they're, doing what they need to do.
Yeah.
Being where they need to be. And yes, there'll be moments where they'll have fun and you can relax but it's just more like, I don't know. If I'm going in with the mindset of like, I'm going in for them and they will have a good time and I will ensure they have a good time, then that's one thing. I don't know if it's possible to do that and also personally have a really, really great time and enjoy everything. If that makes any sense.
No, it does. And that's why I'm going with a few people before.
This is why you're not taking your kids.
Yeah, right. No, this is why one of the people two of the people I'm going with, they're a couple, they're married, and they're going before they have kids. Like
Yeah.
that's what they want to, do, and that makes a lot of sense.
I one thing I really do want to do is go to Galaxy's Edge, though. I really want to go to Galaxy's Edge.
I wish I cared. I really wish I did. I don't know if it's my overall not like enthusiastic nature about Star Wars or what.
Yeah, of course it is. If you didn't care, then if you didn't care about Star Wars, you wouldn't care about looking at things from Star Wars.
No. I care about going on the Millennium Falcon and like experiencing all of it, but also it just totally screams to me like we want all of your money, all of it.
Yeah.
Because this lightsaber is $200. This droid is $100. These drinks are $20 each. This special Diet Coke canister that holds less than a normal bottle is $7. Like, it's a lot of money.
This question from Bubble about what animals are you thinking of for the zoo animals? Like the classics, right? Elephant, lion, tiger, a panda, giraffe, zebra. Like just trying to get like the heavy hitters mostly. All right, we need some more suggestions. We need more suggestions from folks.
Yeah, I should probably come up with mine at some point, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you should. You should think of something.
I haven't been seeing a ton of suggestions in the chat, though. People just...
I do like your suggestion of She-Ra, Brett. I have drawn her fairly recently, though. So that is the only reason I holding off on that one. Herding cats, yes, Lindsay. At least you now have an adult child. Yeah, I mean, it helps. If he could drive, it would help even more.
Oh, can I use Milan's suggestion as my own to do the kakapo? It's a bird.
Yeah. Do you want to do that now?
Yeah.
You want to wait for the color?
Oh, wait for the color. Yeah.
See, that's. I'm trying to. Yeah, you had a lot in there, Larry. Though there was a lot of good. You had a lot of good ones. Yeah. Let's see. What do we got? What do you guys got out there? Oh, dragons is a cool idea for flight. I didn't think about dragons.
You could do toothless.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Also good because it's
black and white.
Yeah, it's appropriate for the
I'll
time.
put it in the chat.
Time of the stream. The flying squid is attacking everything. Sometimes I draw them at a very specific angle, and it like almost doesn't fit anywhere. All right. Yes, that is a good one. My brain isn't awake enough yet. Yeah, that's another one of the reasons why we're going to move to evening time. But we still have months. We have half a year, a little less than half a year. So, toothless. So yeah, Disney World. That's fun.
Yeah, we're planning it for this time next year, I think. And we're trying to get as many people as possible. And, I never realized before how much can go into it, because I've always heard like people get like a vacation planner, right? To like do options and stuff. There are so many hotels and packages and the meal plan or no meal plan or like reservations and blah, blah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. All that junk. That's why you got those people at all these shows that we go to that have the one table and they're like Disney vacations. And it's the one lady and she's sitting there with a bowl of candy and no one ever comes to her table. You're like, what is it? That's the lady. She's there to help you plan your vacation.
Which is super valuable if you're someone who's not organized. But luckily,
here we go.
Luckily, me and one of my other friends were pretty organized. So I think we're going to, get it together.
You're going to wing it.
Yeah. No, not wing it. No, you can't wing that. You gotta just do it.
All right, let's see. Dun, dun.
There's because there's obviously YouTube channels dedicated to like everything.
Yep.
And there's a channel that's dedicated to just talking about the news at the Walt Disney parks every single day.
Yeah.
On blogs, they update all the new food, reviewing it, the different hotel rooms, the different things that are changed in the park in terms of aesthetics and all these different things just in the parks, not the animation, not movies, nothing. Just in the parks. And every single day there's new info. And it gets you like, man, how are people so obsessed with this stuff? And I've said it time and time again, but any diehard Lego person looks like a fair weather compared to a diehard Disney person.
Oh, you know what? Since you're going next weekend to Brick Fair, you should talk to Joe Mino about this. He worked at Disney World for years and years and years.
Oh, really?
And he is a hardcore Disney guy, and he would probably have some good tips. I would assume he's the Brick Journal guy. Yeah.
Gotcha. You know what I find fascinating? One of my friends was like, "Oh, since you're a big Lego guy, you probably want to go to Legoland, right?" And I'm like, "No, that place sucks. It's not great."
Yeah, it really isn't.
Actually, not at all. Like compared to how involved Disney World is and how Universal is, like they take it like way next level. And hopefully, we're actually planning on going to Universal as well. Hopefully.
Yeah, and that's interesting because later in life, even with other kids, I learned that it's a lot more common for people to go to both than it is to not. Because they're like, well, you're there, right? You're already there. You're already traveled, which is a big expense.
Right.
So you might as well do everything. And I was like, oh, I felt kind of cheated because this was a specific conversation that we had in my family. It's like, well, we can only do one. Pick one. And it's like everybody else is like, oh, yeah, we did everything. It's like, well, dang.
Well, that's what I talk about sometimes when I talk to people about shows. They're like, well, man, I wish I could afford to do this or do that or whatever. And those are the type of people that, as we've talked about, may not spend.
Oh, they don't. Yeah. Yep.
They're one of those people.
One of those. Yep.
Instead of buying all that stuff or taking as many trips to go different places, why wouldn't you cut that back a little bit and have a much better time on one vacation and expel all that energy the way you should?
Yeah.
Because to me, if you spend a trip going to Florida at Disney, you're there in a crummy hotel getting fast food every day because you can't afford otherwise, and you're waiting in the sun all day to go on a ride, like it doesn't matter. Like you're not enjoying yourself to the highest capacity. So why not save up a little bit? I mean, maybe this is easy for me to say being in the position that I'm in without kids and, massive debts and whatnot. But like to go into those situations with not the most ideal game plan, you're not going to enjoy yourself the most that you could. So just spend a little bit more time saving up or do something a little bit different so you can have the best time you can if you're going to be down there and trying to have the experience,
I agree. Hey, speaking of massive debt, ladies and gentlemen, I am still paying off my hospital bill.
Hey.
So if anybody, as a friendly reminder, I do have lots of items for sale on my store or on Etsy, and there's new stuff constantly being updated. So it would be really appreciated. I did have to end up, of course, starting up a payment plan because that's going to go on for a little while. It was a lot of money. But you know what? I guess they saved my life, and I guess I live here, so I guess I need to pay it. But that is still a thing. So if anyone was curious, I am still making payments on my ridiculously high hospital bill for my appendicitis a few months ago. Still a thing. Still a thing. Sigh. Try to get that. Hello, Brick Enforcer. Let's see. Brickfest Live. I did Brickfest Live in Colorado Springs. Oh, I did Brickfest Live in Denver twice, I think. I believe it was twice. I need you to be smaller because you have giant wings. All right.
And yeah, Bubble LaVoe, I know there's more than one channel that does it. I'm thinking of one channel that talks about the Walt Disney World news as if it were like a news report. They do it like a full that's their full-time thing. There's correspondence. It's like the Beyond the Brick of Disney, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's great.
Crazy stuff.
The news.
Quite literally, like
it is time for the news. So you saw I got those 2 games. Got those.
I did.
Because my kid, I love him to death. He's driving me crazy. It's like a summer break, man. This year has been like the first real year. So he turns 8 next month. He turns 8. So he's at the very end of his 7 years of this life of his.
Side tangent here real quick. So when I see a comment like with what Gekinator put in the chat, I'm like, nah, you're lying. It's your internet, it's your TV. What are you doing? Turns out he's absolutely right. Every single one of the descriptions doesn't work.
Really?
They don't work.
Oh, hold on.
None of them work. I'm like, wait, that shouldn't make any sense.
Okay, sometimes when I
website works. The rest of them don't.
No, they should work. All those should work.
I don't know why. That's the weirdest thing.
That is weird because they're all correctly written.
Yeah. Maybe just like a copy paste error or something.
Copy and paste into the browser. Does that work? No. What in the world? Yeah, those are all the accurate whatever. That's a problem. It is a problem. That I don't understand though, because they're all you could just even Instagram, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, all of it's broken.
Oh well. Link see, how do I even if you just go to any of my social media profiles, if you could somehow find your way there, just search MrHinkleDraws. It's the same username on everything. I have a link tree set up and it has all the links to everything. I have no clue why those aren't working because I'm looking at them and they're all accurately written. So I don't know. Maybe I'll redo it or something.
Kevin, do you copy and paste the description every time, or do you have?
Yeah, no, I do.
You can have like upload defaults on YouTube, right?
Oh, no, I did not know.
Yeah, you can have it so like your default section can be from the whole. You could literally do the whole thing except for flight. You can just swap out the word and that's it.
Oh, cool. I'll have to do that then.
The more play across the screen.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't take a lot of time, but I usually open up the last video and I copy and paste it.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Sometimes errors can happen like that with just I don't know.
Well, I did notice that there was a time I did that and it cut off the last couple letters of every single one of them and changed it to ... And I was like, well, that's stupid, and they didn't work. And so of course I fixed them. I removed the ... and replaced it with the actual letters, which is supposed to be, and then they worked again. And then for some reason these aren't working. So I don't know. Thank you for reporting this though. I do appreciate it.
Yeah.
So my website works.
Yeah, all of them work except none of them work except your website.
Except my website. That's not by design. I promise you. That's weird though. It's stupid. I'll refresh it. Let's see. What does this other question say? I'm trying to pay for some medical. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Where was that thing I was missing? How about Comic-Con in October in Denver? No. Oh, you guys are talking to each other. Okay. I was like, what are you talking about? There is a conversation that is taking place. I'm not involved in this conversation. All right. Let me shrink this rat bird. The rat bird. There you go. I think I need to shrink the hawk too. So many things to manage,
It's really kind of ridiculous. It's incredible when you think not only all the things that you do manage, and then all the things that you could be doing but don't.
Yeah. It's a lot of stuff.
Which is part of like why I have the management and, streamlining things and just so much going on, man. It's really a lot. It's so involved.
Yep. Yes, it is.
And all the things you should do. So yesterday I ended up going into Boston and got headshots done finally.
Oh, good.
So that was a 7-hour process, walking around all around South Boston, going to different places for a shoot. And yeah.
All right. I need another suggestion. What do we got? Oh, Da Vinci's Flying Contraption. There we go. That's a good one from Ray. Thank you. Thank you, Ray's Pocket, for typing that. What's up, Doc Sampson? Long time no view. What is up?
Wow. Doc Sampson rises like a phoenix from the ashes.
Oh, there's a nice little squeal in that one. All right, let's get a Da Vinci Flying Contraption. Anytime I think of Leonardo da Vinci, this is for my Trek fans out there. I will always imagine in the actor who played Da Vinci in and his get up from Star Trek Voyager, because Captain Janeway would often work with Da Vinci in his study. So that's what I think of. That's in my mind. That's my version of Da Vinci. Which one do we do? Let's do the crazy spirally thing. Yeah, that's the one we're gonna do. Pocket is busy realizing that storing his table for a year has basically ruined it. Oh, did he get like warped in junk? Oh, the Lost Plane. That's a good one. That's a good one. All right, how do I do this?
Oh, here's something I'll ask Doc publicly. Do you hate me, Doc?
Oh, yeah, of course he does.
Oh, well.
No, I don't know. I don't think Doc hates anybody.
Oh, well, no, I don't think that's true. But I think in the last few quarantine casts, he was like, "Oh, hey, everyone else, Brian."
It's got to be for comedic effect.
Brian. It's like, I don't know, that Doc voice.
Larry just watched those episodes. Yeah. Who doesn't? Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
No, Doc's like, who's talking? Who? I'm sorry. Who?
Who's this? Who are you? I don't know who this is.
Is that Bricks O'Brien?
Who's asking?
It's Connects Kenny. He sounds different. Oh, is that good or bad?
Oh, it's not bad.
I'm using new equipment. That might have something to do with it.
Yeah. I mean, when you said that, I did notice that it did not sound bad. It just sounded different. I'm like, it's just like, oh yeah, it sounds a little different. That explained it. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. Like I said, it's not a bad thing. It just something about it is different than normal.
Dang it. Well, I've been meaning to do like a test live stream for audio the past week, but then I got this new piece of equipment, and then I was waiting for that to come in, and that came in yesterday after I had to do the shoot all day, and then I had to do a thing for Boone, and then I was exhausted.
Doc hates Walmart employees. Oh, okay, there you go. I guess that's fair, I suppose. You know what I like about, or not like, I find amusing about Walmart and the greeters is that, I mean, half the time they don't greet you. They just stand there and stare at you while you walk. And I'm ready, right? Like I'm mentally ready to like say something like, "Hey, yeah, how are you?" And they don't say anything. I'm like, "Well, all right." And then the other half is like when they're standing there when you leave and you're walking out with something and you've got the receipt ready to go because you're like, well, this looks very suspicious because I'm just walking out with these in my hand. And then they don't ask you anything. And like, oh, what do you do? What do you do here?
They just exist for a paycheck.
Like that's what I did when I went and I got those video games. Oh, because yeah, I didn't finish that. My kid, he aside from summer camp, which like I said, he had a lot of fun, but also I was there during summer camp, so But other than that, he's like slightly driving me crazy because he's like, Dad, let's do something. Dad, let's play. Dad, and I'm like, I'm trying to work, buddy. I don't have a summer break really. So I was like, let me get him a game. So he is upstairs playing Mario Maker right now. And boy, howdy, Brian, the drift on that Joy-Con is awful.
Yup.
It is really bad. And I told you that when we were playing, or we tried to play Mario, the 35th anniversary thing, that like Mario just kept walking off the platforms. And I was like, I'm done. Like, my kid doesn't care. Like, he doesn't even really, like, he sees it as a problem, but it doesn't bother him at all. I'm like, I can't play like this. I cannot play like this. And so we turned it on, and the second it was on the menu, the little like hand just like started slowly going up. I'm like, why is that hand moving? and it does that all the time. And it, like, I was trying to make a very rudimentary level, just testing things out with him, and like I couldn't. It drive me crazy because I'd like move the thing to select something, and it would select the thing on top of it because it would keep going. I'm like, oh my goodness. But it's not new. I mean, I've had it for years and years and years and years, and it's been slowly, getting worse. And now it's to the point where it's pretty unbearable. For me, it's unbearable. He's upstairs playing it, and he's having the time of his life. But I'm like, ugh. I just can't understand why it's not, I guess, officially acknowledged as an issue.
Right.
Like, it's fine. It's an issue. Fix it. Do whatever you need to do. Like, come on. Stop being too proud. All right, there's my Da Vinci thing. Not as happy with the spiral on the top, but
yeah.
Oh, you know what?
They'll repair the Joy-Cons for free, but it'll take literally 3 months.
Ugh, don't do that.
I've seen people also have hit miss opportunities with that.
Let me see. This will probably look bad, but I'm gonna try it anyway. No, that's not what I want. Just needs to be a little bigger. But yeah, I got him those games so he could hopefully be entertained and not bug me as much when I'm trying to work. Put the helicopters next to each other. Let's see. Larry says, this is crazy. So I'm looking up who would come to the Comic-Con in Colorado Springs. Both Jerry Mathers and Tony Dow will be there. Will anyone know who they are? I do not know who they are. I don't think I know though. I probably know their faces, but I don't know those names. Oh, Superman in Flight. Nice. Let's do that. And then don't forget, we got to do that bird.
Yes, for sure.
Because we're almost at color. Let's see. How many of it does it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. When your kid is bothering you to put them in front of a screen. Well, I mean, Are you talking to me?
No.
Oh.
I was doing voice to text. Oh, you could hear that?
Oh, I could. I was like, it's kind of sounded like you were just very quietly talking to me. And I was like, are you telling me something?
I'm conjuring the spirits of the past.
For a second, I thought maybe.
Well, usually when I have the microphone that far away, you can't hear anything. So yeah, it's interesting. I don't know if I'll be able to figure it out before the stream today. I don't know. We'll see.
New equipment.
Yeah.
Let's see. I guess I'll do this one. I guess. Yeah. Let's see. Was it just me? Was I the only one? We couldn't hear you. Oh, maybe it was just I heard. That was weird. Whatever. Oh, but yes. I consider myself a fairly hands-on parent. I don't really ignore my kids. I do a lot of stuff, but it's like when I got to work, I got to work. It's like I can't sit there and play games when I'm trying to work. It's like and I work from home. That's why it's difficult. It's difficult for him to understand because I don't go somewhere. I don't go somewhere else, and Dad's gone for a couple hours because he's at work, and now he's at home, and now he can play.
Right.
So for him, he doesn't understand that because it's like, well, you're here. Let's do something. So, and we hang out and we do stuff, but it's just like work time is work time. I need to do something. And I feel a little bad, Of course I do. Feel a little bad. Wants to do something with dad, and like, we just did camp. We just spent a whole week together. Come on, give me a break. So I figured maybe video games would help out a little bit. Nothing wrong with a good video game. Good old wholesome Nintendo video game. Come on.
Yeah, so you got what? Luigi's Mansion 3. What was the other one?
Holy smokes, what happened to your microphone?
Wait, what?
You totally switched to a different setting or something. Something happened. Was that also just me? Is this also me in my head?
What about that?
No, it's awful.
Now it's bad?
Now you can hear everything, like all the echo, the sounds of like the air conditioner, and you have like I don't know how to explain, like a fuzzy voice. It's like you hit a setting or something. Yeah, you got really loud too. Professional streamer Rick O'Brien. Yeah, well, luckily it's not his. Just look at the pretty drawings. That's all you got to look at. Look at these pretty drawings. You are not very professional today, Brian. It's amateur hour. He's in my head. Yeah, it was weird. It just like mid-sentence. Just like, you know what? I don't think I want to sound crazy for a second. I need to see some of your artwork, Larry, after I was reminded or learned, I don't remember, that you have done or do artwork as well. I was more used to knowing that your kids do it, but I need to see some Larry Legend artwork. I finally saw, well, no, I've seen it before. I watched Superman, the original Superman movie with Christopher Reeves last week.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now you're back to normal again.
Yeah, so, okay. So long story short, with this sort of audio device, I switched back to my old one. But instead of having everything run through like a physical interface or me adjusting knobs and whatnot, I have to reroute all of my computer audio to be through this device, and it's just a weird setup. So I tried getting a decent grasp on it, but I haven't clearly gotten it yet. So that's why I wanted to do an audio testing stream. Like, let me figure everything out. But
gotcha. Well, you sound fine now. But
yeah.
It was so weird. You're like, so you said that you got Luigi's Mansion. I was like, whoa, what just happened?
That's crazy.
It was like mid talk. It was in the middle of a statement. It was really weird. Who's this imposter? All of a sudden, Brian got replaced mid talk. But yeah, no, I got Mario Maker 2 and Luigi's Mansion 3 for him. I figured Mario Maker would be a good, time sink, and then he's also, as every younger sibling in the world, he's a huge Luigi fan and much more Luigi fan than Mario fan. So, and he has not yet, even though I just got that, whatever it was, a day ago or 2 days ago, he has not touched Luigi's Mansion. He just keeps playing Mario Maker.
Yeah, that's fair.
What's up, Vazoom? Excuses, says Doc. So yeah, I saw Superman, and there's a lot of nonsensical stuff that happens in the old Superman movie.
Yeah, I've never actually gotten a chance to watch it.
Like I know I've seen it in my youth, but it's been so long that I can't. Yeah, I just remember like I don't know, like not enough to be able to speak knowledgeably about it. And so I watched it again, and I'm like, oh, that's a weird power. I was like, why are you doing that? Oh, you can do that too? That's weird. Like it wasn't bad. There's some good parts about it, but it's also just like, why is Lex Luthor living in the sewer? Like what are you what? You're like a billionaire genius. Why are you in the sewer? So there's some bits of weirdness. I thought there was a little bit more weirdness with that than when I was watching Batman, because I watched the Tim Burton Batman also recently, which is another one of those like, oh yeah, I've seen this movie before, but it's been so long that I can't really remember it. And so I was like, let's watch it. And I was like, there's some weird stuff that's occurring in this. There was a lot more weird stuff I thought in Superman than in Batman. What's up, Sans? It is far too early for this. For what? For nonsense? Old gray bricks. He's hiding from the IRS. The sewers is the last place they like. Is that like? Did they say
IRS
that?
They find you everywhere.
They do. But I also could see a line like that being said that I missed, maybe. But does he explain it in the movie? All right. So we crossed over to we crossed into 11:30. So I do need to color Superman because that's the rule. I wasn't planning to, but I think the audio issues pushed us over. That's what it was.
Yeah.
All right. So that's fine. Let's see. Yes, absolutely. We have, to quote He Who Remains, we have crossed the threshold. We have crossed the threshold.
Such a cool moment.
It really was. And I was like kind of expecting it not to happen. I thought they were going to throw us for a loop, really. Because I felt like that was like the most obvious. And I'm like, that's not going to happen. Because it's the most obvious, it's not going to happen. It's going to be something else.
Listen, all right, everybody, these three people giving me heat in the chat, all right, about this audio. Relax, kids. Calm down.
Everybody just calm down.
Everyone's like, oh, no. Like, I feel like it's people antagonizing me for the sake of antagonizing me. It's the internet, but also just people in general. Like, oh.
Did you have him play? Gets louder. Most important thing as a streamer is good audio. Someone has that.
Someone carried that home before.
Oh, you know what else was okay? So, getting back to you for a minute. I was, as I told you, I was listening to your Zelda videos. I wasn't really watching them because I was working, but I've played it enough to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I also listened to it at increased speed. So I think it was 1.5 or something like that. And so some of your sillier moments are hysterical when you're sped up.
Right.
So we were like, Girahim, why you keep sticking your tongue out? And you're like, I was like, oh my goodness. What did you just do? And I would like maximize it. And I'm like, watching you do that it's super fast was very funny.
Because he does a lot of tongue action.
He does. You know? And you know what? It's exactly as uncomfortable as I remember it being. I was like, yeah, that's kind of weird. But that's like his point. He is uncomfortable. He's an uncomfortable person. But he also has his moment near the end of the game where you're like, okay. I didn't see that one come in. What do we got here? Let's see. Good request for color. If you need more, the house from Pixar's up. Yep, that's a good one.
That would take you 7,000 years with all the balloons.
7,000 years. But I do remember also when I first played that game that the motion controls were kind of lame. I was like, I like the idea of it, but I'm also like, like it got old really quick. Like,
Hey, you know why I never played Skyward Sword in the beginning was because there was a picture of the Wii remote with the controls on screen at all times.
Yeah.
Stupidest thing. Why would you do that? Let's just have the controls obscure a third of the screen at all times. What?
They also, the one thing I didn't really like about it, like the one thing that really like bothered me was I didn't like how they didn't put the Zoras in it. So spoiler alert, Zoras are not in that game at all. But they have like a totally different aquatic like squid species. And as a, very invested Zelda fan playing almost every game, Zoras are like, if you're going to have a water species, you use a Zora.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're so commonly used in almost all the games. And I don't have a problem with like change and new and different, but it's like you put the Gorons in there, but you don't put the Zoras. You put a random squid species that we will never see again. It's like, okay, can't you just use the Zora? I don't like, it was just like that bothered me. I'm like, let's just put Zoras. Why are you put squids?
So factoring in Skyward Sword, the release of the HD version, Breath of the Wild 2, how much do you think of Skyward Sword could we see in Breath of the Wild 2? Like
there's
what
definitely
aspects of it?
There's definitely going to be some callbacks and references.
Like what? Like what mechanics? Because I know that there's a loft wing. I feel like that's something they are low-key preparing people for with like flying.
Can you put shuttle launch is going. Can you put that bird in the chat? I can put your comment up.
Which bird?
The was it Kakapo?
Yeah.
Kakapoo?
Milan, put the Kakapo in the chat. It was your idea. I just like it. I'll use that as my yes, please do it. But Milan, toss that in there. I won't take credit for it.
But yeah, it was really interesting seeing the flying through the sky because I'm like, okay, there's only one game where that has happened.
Yeah.
Exactly as they showed it in the trailer. Maybe that was a cop out or a fake out or something, but going into the sky apparently seems to be a thing. So that's the biggest callback. And I don't know, there might be a direct Hylia connection, which is kind of spoilery for you if you haven't got to that point.
I have gotten through everywhere in the videos.
That's where you're at, is what we've seen in the video playthrough. Got it.
Because I had to do a Minions Minecraft pack and then the Olympics, Mario and the Olympics game.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I was kind of surprised how fast I burned through those actually, because I just let the playlist go. But then again, I had them sped up, so it was like it didn't last that long.
Yeah, they're not short videos either.
Yeah, it's like 20 or 30 minutes each.
Yeah,
and then it was playing something complete. I was like, "What is this? This is not Zelda." I'm like, wait a minute.
Right.
It's like, oh, we're done. We're finished. But I like that there was like the statues in Breath of the Wild. There's definitely some Hylia statues scattered around that are from Skyward Sword. That was like a pretty clear callback.
Yeah. It also helped in the beginning. I think you may have heard it in the videos, but I played through the first like hour of the game and like I totally messed up the audio or something.
Well, and I feel like that has happened to you a few times now in other games.
Yeah. It's happened a couple of times. So I realized what happened this time. Well, I realized what happened every time. But You know, it happens to the best of us, really.
Sure.
Or
Yeah.
something, you know.
Like, was it Origami King that happened to also?
Yeah, because that was a different camera, and that was a bad one because it was like, oh my goodness, how many hours in?
That's a bad one.
6.5 hours in. That was bad.
Nothing like playing 6.5 hours again right off the bat.
Mm-hmm. And I started that playthrough, like I did the first chapter of it the night it came out, and I was up till like 5 that morning. So it was literally for nothing, but
Yep.
And then I remember doing
this bird has like such interesting, like super pronounced nostrils on the beak. They're like super pronounced. Like, I have nostrils. Okay, I got you, bird.
No, I actually tried building that in Minecraft on Monday. That was tough.
Oh, I remember seeing you do a turkey.
Yes, I did a couple different animals. That was one of them.
It was funny because it was I kind of checked in and out because I was doing other stuff, but I remember I think you were sizing the tail and you like stuck it in the middle of the back, and then I looked at it later and it wasn't like that anymore. But I was like, oh, because it looked really funny when I was like, it's like a tail in the middle of the back because like there was brown bits left from the body, and then you deleted those. I was like, oh, well, there we go.
Yeah, I think I called you out later in the chat. I'm like, oh, and then Kevin, whatever.
It's okay. It'll never be as good as take notes on how to draw while I draw this gummy bear.
Yeah.
You need to do better. And then it's like, oh.
Hold on, let me make it better. Hold on.
Yeah, let me add some fire. That's not fire. That's definitely that is a world-class moment. That'll be hard pressed to replicate that bad boy. Does this have it has a tail? And I'm looking at an interesting reference. It's like hunched. He's kind of like doing something.
Yeah, it's a flightless bird.
It does have a tail. Yeah. Yeah, he's got a tail. He looks like just looking at the images, I don't know anything about this bird, but looking at the images, it looks like it wouldn't be a flightless bird. It looks like like you can see a penguin's not going to fly. Yeah. Right? You can see an ostrich is not going to fly, but this looks like it would be a normal bird that can fly around.
Yeah, it just kind of hobbles around.
I wonder how that, through the history of evolution, came to be on this guy. Why do you not need to fly, Mr. Bird? Maybe it's like zero predators, so it never had to go anywhere.
Yeah, probably something like that.
Give us your secrets, evolution.
You know what's a weird phenomenon that happens sometimes, side tangent to this conversation? I'll go on to like my Twitch dashboard sometimes and I'll look and I'll just like be adjusting something. And some people will show up in my chat and just be like, "Where's Brian?" While I'm not live.
It's kind of weird.
They got
to be the youngsters, right? They got to be the young.
That's
the
like
younglings.
You're walking in a church on like a Tuesday night at 1 a.m. You're like, "Where is everyone?"
What? Say, where's Jesus? I was like, Jesus! I was like, where are you gonna go with this? You walk in
Jesus!
the church, you're like, where's Jesus?
Jesus, where are you?
One of my favorite lines that I forgot about until I saw again recently was Infinity War, when like Doctor Strange meets the Guardians of the Galaxy for the first time, and he's
who do
like,
you serve?
Who do you serve?
What kind of question is that? So what am I supposed to say? Jesus.
That's so good. Oh, I didn't know where I was. Like, you walk into the church, like, why? Okay. You're like, where's Jesus? Is Jesus here? Jesus is everywhere.
Basically what it is.
That is interesting. Yeah, it's got to be the younglings that are like, I know how to use the internet. Don't worry about it.
I'll look at this comedian Larry in the chat. He's like, "Wait, you're drawing a flightless bird on the flight stream?" Well, flight's still in the name of the aspect of the bird, Larry.
That's fair. That's fair.
And with that logic, Kevin's going to draw the Titanic next because it's a flightless metal thing. All right, so
That's pretty funny. The flightless metal thing. Yeah, no, he Golden Light Pictures. Yeah, he is excited for Luigi. That'll probably be. We'll probably get that for him because, I mean, he's still to this day always has Mario, the little electronic Lego Mario running all the time. I'm surprised I haven't had to change the batteries because he's always playing with it. And if it makes him happy, he can have it. That's cool. But yeah, he's more of a Luigi fan, so he's been on the edge of his seat for that one. He was actually, what was he looking at? He was looking at something, and he was like, "Why do they have it early?" And I was like, "Oh, you've gotten to that age." I was like, "All right." It's not out yet. Why do they have it? Well, you see, we have a little bit of like really yellowish color in here. I sound nothing like that, Brian, says Larry.
that's what everyone on the internet sounds like to me.
This is true. That's a fair statement.
I give Kevin that same voice, even though I know exactly what he sounds like. I've given that voice to Steve. I give it to literally everyone.
Except, you know who doesn't get that voice? Kirk Wilson.
Well, Kirk Wilson gets a much more deep and sophisticated voice like this that eventually turns into a little bit of the.
It does. It has a high probability of changing into Swedish Chef. It's very
For no
interesting.
reason.
It is very interesting. It is nonsensical, but you have a high.
Gator
degree.
Bricks in the chat asking, has anyone requested the Da Vinci helicopter yet?
That's a great question. There it is down there.
Bloggers.
That is a good idea, and I am happy to report it has been suggested and doodled today. All right, I think that's good for that. Okay, that's a giant bird. Superman, I will destroy you. All right, we're probably gonna shrink you and move you into the corner. You got any? So this was Milan's. Really, do you have any ideas for something you want to see drawn? Special requests before we go back to the chat ideas.
Man, there's a disturbing lack of Mario on here. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna give you a good one for maybe color. We'll go with Bowser's airship. How about that?
That is a good one. All right, let me get.
I thought about giving you like Lakitu or airship. Hold on. Bowser's airship. There we go.
Done.
I thought about giving you like a flying enemy, but I'm like, that's not as sophisticated.
Let's see, Sans. Guess I was half right. How it slipped my mind that it was 3 feet tall is beyond me. What's 3 feet? That bird is 3 feet tall? Look up. I sound. No, what's 3 feet tall? Is that Australian bird or New Zealand bird? Is it New Zealand or Australia or both? The cockapoo. Do you know, Brian?
Oh, I have absolutely no clue whatsoever.
This owl is 3 feet tall. That's ridiculous. Ornamegalonyx. It evolves into gotta catch 'em all. All right. Yeah, this is a good one. I'm gonna draw the face first. Little details in there. Dun, dun. I like the look that this ship has kind of settled into.
What shape? What ship?
Like the overall of the airship, just like the look of it, like how it's like kind of settled down over the years.
Mm.
You know, a lot of that Mario stuff that like has slightly changed up in looks from game to game and year to year, and then eventually it settles into its like final form. I like the way it has settled out.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like a steampunk ship, but stylized enough for Mario.
Oh yeah, it is definitely rocking the Mario aesthetic pretty well. I'm definitely.
Howie, what's going on?
What's up, Howie? Howie's at. Howie should be at.
I was at the rodeo. Yee-hoo!
He should be. He should be rodeoing it up.
Yeah, you shouldn't be in this chat. Go hang out with Julian and Moto and Jeff and all them.
Not to kick you away. I was like, you should be having fun, right?
Yeah, go get out of here, Howie.
Wait, what time is it? It's noon, so it's
11 there.
11?
Yeah.
Thanks for I appreciate you being here. I hope the show is going well.
Yeah, you gotta let us know how it is. Are the O'Hanlons there? Tell them I send my regards. And
tell them they owe me money.
Yeah, I was gonna say tell them they owe me a fat stack of cash and a steak dinner. It's the truth.
That's so funny. That's always just always what you say is tell them they owe me money.
They keep every time they bring up like, oh yeah, we're gonna get dinner at Brick Fair or do whatever. And they're like, yeah, we're gonna go to Waffle House because we owe you some steak and like we gotta bring you to the full experience. I'm like, you will absolutely not. No, we're going to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse.
We're gonna take you to Waffle House because we owe you a steak.
Yes. So they're like, no, you got to go to Waffle House and have the full experience. I'm like, no, I don't. Let's go to a nice steakhouse. Come on. I did a lot of hard work for you guys.
I will only go to Waffle House if I can go with Chris.
Oh, it has to be with Fazoom.
I can't. No, I'm not going to do it any other time. No. If I'm not there with my local tour guide, then I'm not doing. Because I did the one. I've only gone once actually. I've gone once in my life when I was in Nashville, and it was okay. I was like, all right, I did that in my life, but like I didn't get a true experience from a expert. Like I'd be like, Chris, just order my food for me. You have my blessing. Order what I should eat.
Yeah, then Fazoom's going to be like, you need to go get yourself a waffle with butter, a little more butter, some syrup, some side of hash, and some butter. Because that's all you get at Waffle House. You get things with butter on them. Butter.
Yeah, I would assume. Yeah, I would assume that's part of it.
I can't stand it.
Let's see. He and Jeff found a local VR zombie shoot 'em up. Oh, what does that mean?
This is what I don't understand. Not to criticize their plan, but when you're at and Kirk is a victim of this too. Kirk's like, oh yeah, when we're in Virginia, I want to go see a movie. Go to the show, talk to people, socialize. What are we doing? Unless you're all going together, then that's cool. But like,
yeah, no, I think we like both think the same way in the fact that like if you are going somewhere, you should like try to make the most out of the area, right? And like visit stuff, but also you shouldn't necessarily do that at the expense of the reason you're there.
Right.
So if you're there to go to the show and maybe add on a day or something, and like that's like something I would always do. I would like, add on a day and I would spend that day after the show's done exploring the town and stuff like that.
But you also know how a lot of these shows go where if you're someone who doesn't know anyone, you can walk around in 3 hours and be like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah,
so then
I did it.
The time, you're like, all right, who am I going to hang out with? Who am I going to talk to? Whatever. So like that makes sense. But when Kirk said to me, yeah, well, I want to go see Black Widow in theaters, like, shut up, Kirk. No, we're going to socialize. We're going to make connections and we're going to bond with people because we haven't done that in over a year. Okay. All right.
Yeah. There are certain things that's like, well, I mean, you could probably do that.
Yeah. At least a zombie shoot 'em up thing, you can bring like a half dozen people and it can be a time, but
it can be a time. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. I used to make fun of Matthew K all the time though, because he is, it's so funny because he spent, a year plus going to all the shows that I was going to and almost not stepping foot in any of them. So he would like, he'd make all the travel arrangements. He'd go to be at Brick World Chicago and he'd be there. And I'd be like, I sent him a text, be like, where are you? And he's like, oh, I'm at the Guggenheim. And I'm like, okay. That's cool. Are you gonna come to the show? He's like, no. It's like so. And I remember talking to him once, and I was like, Matthew, I commend you on seeing all these cool things and explain the towns, but you do realize you can come to the town when the show's not happening, right? Like you don't have to only. And he's like, yeah, I know. I'm like, because you're not even at the show at all.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, but then I can maybe just see people I want to see in small concentrated doses, like for food. It's like, okay. But like for a whole year he did that. It was like we'd be in the same place in the same town and he would not step foot in the show. I'm like, okay. He would be there and he'd explore all the sites and museums and all kinds of stuff, but he would not be at the show.
I am very looking forward to socializing. That's what I like the most.
Yeah, I believe it. Let's see. Larry says that's really impressive. Thank you, Larry. Yeah, I was nervous once upon a time with doing like vehicles because I don't really draw vehicles very often. But now I'm like 3-4 streams in of drawing vehicles, and they always seem to come out pretty okay. So I think maybe I can draw vehicles. Let's see. I want a lighter brown. Let's see. Kirk is going to be surprised by his popularity. I suspect you have to teach him about the celebrity lifestyle.
Who's saying this? Bobo?
That's from Bobo Laveau.
So here's the funniest thing about that comment. I was looking at YouTube, I'm looking at the stream, and I don't see the comment. And I'm like, okay, I wonder who could have said that. That sounds like a Bobo Laveau comment, and then it was. I didn't even need to look at the comment to know it was him.
There's only one other human that I can do that for. You know who that human is?
Who?
Joseph Zawada.
That's right.
I know you can tell a Joseph Zawada comment, but without ever seeing Joseph Zawada's name.
Yep. So, yeah, I think so. This is something I've kind of wrestled with too. Not that I'm going to be like, Mr. Popularity or whatever, but the thing with being online and then you say you're going someplace, there's a lot of people that I've never talked to that are going to probably approach me and be like, oh yeah, I watched you on the Quarantine Cast or whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. Like I only factor in the people that actually say something to me on Facebook that are like, oh yeah, I'm going to be there, whatever. So for me at this show next weekend, it's not just people that know me through Beyond the Brick, the diehard AFOL people. It's also fans of Bricks O'Brien that don't care about that at all. That are going to be the parents and the kids that are going to pop up. And then
you had that when you were working the floor mosaic. You had kids that came up that I assume they're Lego fans because they're there, but like they were more interested in being there because they just want to talk to you. It didn't really have anything to do with the show. Sure.
So it's going to be a very interesting thing for me. And then there's also, people like I'm going to be doing work for Beyond the Brick and then blah, 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 all these different things, So it's going to be a very action-packed weekend. I'm very, very excited.
Action-packed. Let's see. Yeah, concentrated doses of talking to people. Yep, you can draw vehicles. Congrats. Yeah, now horses. Yeah, the horses came out okay. They weren't awful. Doesn't mean I like drawing them, though.
And yeah, Bobo, what I'll probably do is I'll be there. So Kirk's very awkward. So I'm going to be there to like help facilitate conversations and kind of, lead them down the path a little bit.
What's funny is I did have a wonderfully innocent, awkward exchange with Kirk many years ago. Mm-hmm. I don't remember what year it was. 2019, 2018. I don't know, but he was at Brick Fair, Virginia, and he was displaying his stuff. And I remember I asked him if he wanted to do. I was like, "You want to do something?" Like hang with us or something. Like I was inviting him to like, because he was by himself. Yeah. And I was like, I don't want this kid by himself because he needs to not be by himself. I was like, hey, come and hang out with us and we're gonna do it. And he's like, no, I'm gonna do X, Y, or Z. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then we left and we did the thing that we're gonna do. I don't even remember the details. And then I came back and he was there by himself. And I was like, I thought you said you were gonna do this. And he's like, yeah, but I didn't. And I'm like, so you just sat here by yourself the whole time.
Nah, see, this is why now I'm not an advocate for peer pressure, but you have to make the decision for people sometimes and say, no, Kirk, you're coming with us right now. We're doing this. Okay. And then that's it.
I have done that on occasion to certain.
Yeah, you've done that with me. You're like, no, you're going. All right.
Yeah. because I didn't know him enough yet to push the envelope that far. I
Yeah,
was like, okay. But I do remember I was like, I should have just dragged you. So I
Yeah.
should have done. All right.
Golden Light, I'm going to Brick Fair, Virginia next weekend. So basically, the vast majority of the cool kids and undesirables will be there.
You know, on that being said, I'm kind of glad that I have a show also next week because that would probably be a pretty dead show. No offense to the people that would still be here and hanging out with me. I do appreciate it. But
Yeah.
I'm thinking it would probably be a pretty dead show for me here live on the internet. All right. I think I'm good with this. It's so ridiculous with its tiny little propellers.
It's great.
It's like, oh yeah, don't worry, it floats. It floats. So we're in our last hour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, the average number of doodles has gone up a lot over the last several months.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I have gotten faster for sure. Okay, what else we got? Awesome, have fun says Golden Light picture. Oh, okay, that's from the question. Oh, Eggmobile from Sonic. Is that the one that
Eggmobile?
Let me take a look because I don't think I know what this. I think I have a vague idea.
I know that's probably Eggman's. If it's Eggman's vehicle, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, this is kind of what I thought in my head.
It's a circular flying vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll throw that on the screen. Let's see. What do you do on slower streams? Well, the same thing. It just really the only thing that's very different is that you'll have a couple people that just get like their request drawn over and over and over and over, which is not, I mean, hey, whatever. It's all still just for fun. And but then it's just like, you know, there's nobody else here. So you're just going to get your stuff drawn over and over again.
Right. That and the conversation, you know, the more people you have in the chat, the more conversation you can have. It can flow a little bit better. But
yeah, true.
I'm just here scheduling some posts and doing some stuff.
Doing the things.
Moderating the chat.
Doing the things. I got these little like slits here on the side. But yeah, one way to help out with your ego a little bit is to definitely draw for kids in real time. Can you draw this? Does it in like a minute. Whoa! Everyone literally passes it around the table. Like, okay, all right. That was kind of fun.
That only helps your ego if you can draw, right?
Well, that's true. That is true. I guess that's a factor. Oh, we did. You know, it was actually kind of fun. We were in the archery range, and when it got to the last day, one of the activities was to draw your own target to put onto the target. I don't know, like, you know what I mean. So they handed out, you know, pieces of paper, and they said, draw your own target, and that's what you're going to shoot, and then you can take it home. And so I drew the duck from Duck Hunt.
Nice.
In its pixelated form too. Like, I wanted to make sure it was as pixelated as possible, so be like 100% recognizable. And it was like in flight, like mid-flight. And the staff, she appreciated it. It was not shot at because I didn't shoot. Let the kids do that. There's not really a lot of extra time, to be honest, between like activities and stuff, because it's like, you know, you have groups of 10. So, but I thought it was funny. I was like, oh, draw my own target. I'm gonna draw the duck from Duck Hunt. doesn't really have. You can't even really see his mouth. Did you see the cats, Brian? Did you see my cat stickers? It's on Patreon.
Let's take a look.
You don't. I was just curious if you'd seen it.
I did not, but I will take a look. I actually, in that vein of like, oh, no one actually looks at Patreon stuff. Like, you know, you posted all up and all that.
Yeah.
I just updated my Patreon because so every Friday before I stream Fortnite, I do like an early Fortnite playing session with game club members at like my $5 tier. And it's like the same 2 people that have showed up for like a couple months.
Yeah.
Like almost the whole time. And I'm like, well, this is not useful.
Well, you know, so I put on the last, my last blog post I put up, and I know I've got some folks here, so appreciate you guys being here. I said, hey, if you don't mind, like if you read it, can you just like it? Because I honestly have no indication of who's seeing it. Like there's no way for me to check stats. I can't like see anything. I have no visibility into, does anyone see this? The only way I can know is if there's a like on the post or if there's a comment on the post. So I was like, hey, if you guys don't mind, can you like it just to let me know that you saw it? Because it was starting to get like the posts were starting to get really down there. It was like every post I put up would be like 2 likes and that was the end of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't think that nobody's seeing it, but I'm like, I have no indication. And it's actually, since I put that on, I've gotten a lot more engagement, which is not, I wasn't doing that to force people to engage. I wanted to know what people were seeing.
Sure.
And it has helped. Like there was a jump and now it's like averaging out to like 10 or so people liking each thing, which again just helps me know who's seeing it, who reads it.
Yeah.
Lindsay loves the cats. Yeah, good. I'm happy to hear that. The laughing dog from the duck. What a jerk. Yeah. So you always shoot it. No, it's okay. I still forgot to like it. It's all right. That's the only reason that I'm just trying to get a better picture of who's seeing the stuff.
At least for mine, if there's only 2 people showing up for my Patreon stuff, like,
you know exactly who's seeing it.
Yeah. Right. So, you know, I would rather do something that people actually want me to do, you know?
Right. And see, we've talked about this because we both use Patreon and we've talked about this a lot in that it's a very kind of complicated mental game because what's up, Primal Gamer? Because you're well aware that there are several people that are like, I like what you do. I want you to keep doing it. Here's money. I don't need to be involved. It's all good. And that's a factor and you know it and it's in your mind.
Yeah.
But also you are trained by literally every other program you use and platform you use and metric you use to reward engagement. This is resonating well. This has higher numbers. So I should do more of this. I should stop doing that. People aren't watching. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how you're trained.
Right.
And so it's like this battle where you're like, well, what's getting engagement and what's not? And so you've got this group of people that are supporting you and throwing money at you, and maybe a very sizable portion of them aren't engaging with anything. So you're fighting your own instinct to say, well, this content's not working because no one's engaging with it. But they're also already giving you money every month. And it's just like, I struggle with it because it's just the opposite of how everything else works.
Right.
But it's like, I get it. Like I'm getting money. That's the proof that it works, that people are interested and supporting. But it's a weird mental game. Because also, you know, people jump off. I'm at 3 people down so far this month, which always kind of happens at the beginning of the month because they get the alert that they got charged and they're like, oh, why do I still give this person money? And then they go and they jump ship, and that's okay. It's their right to do. But I would like to be able to somehow impact that. Be like, what kind of stuff can I give that people don't leave? And in that case, my only data is exit surveys. And most people, when they leave Patreon, either don't do the exit survey at all, or they give you very vague reasons like other. And it's like, well, then I can't. Like, honestly, if it's like, what do I want to say? Like, I no longer am interested in this because XYZ. Like, that's fine. We're all big boys. We can take it. I would just like to have some tangible information so I can use it. It's a struggle. Let's see. Have you seen the Olympics Google Doodle they put up? I did not. Think they did a great job capturing a great aesthetic in the video. Oh, I'll need to check that out. Kevin needs reassurance he's not screaming into the void. I mean, that's always helpful. It's always helpful to know. I also really like seeing what people do with the doodles because, as I've said multiple times, I put up the artwork on Patreon. If you are a patron, you can take it, you can use it, you can print it, you can do whatever you want to do with it. And I love seeing what people do with it because they like make shirts with it. They make stickers with it. One of my patrons in California printed notebooks, and it was a cover on the notebooks to give out. And I thought that was really cool because it was like trains. So he took the train drawing and made it the cover of the notebook. All right, there's our Eggman. Let's see. Ray says the posts aren't there for the people who are already part of your group. They're enticing the ones who are thinking about it. I know. That's also why I post about the posts. You got to post about the posts because you gotta let people see what they're missing out on. All right, next thing. Now what? Now what do we got? Oh, yeah. We can do that. Primal Gamer, that's a good suggestion. Pterodon. Dinosaurs.
Pteranodon.
But yes, staring at cats for 30 to 40 hours made me not absolutely despise them with every fiber of my being. I'm still not a cat person, but I'm happy with how most of them came out. Let's see, which one do I want to do? Do this. Dun. Whoa. Too close. I also need to get my giveaway up. I'm doing a giveaway to try to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube because I'm very, very close. I'm at 940. It's taken a lot of work to get there, a lot of grinding. And I want to do a giveaway, try to entice. And I've already got Matthew set it up for me, and it's like ready to go. I just need to like do it.
Right.
But I've been so busy.
Here, I gotta step away for a minute. I'll be right back.
Okay. It's just you and me, everybody. Get this. You got like this, the big, it's like head horn. Primal Gamer, whilst I really like the Jurassic Park 3 designs, nothing ticks me off more than them having teeth. Their names literally mean toothless wing. Oh. I think I'm literally drawing the no, wait, what is this? Jurassic. Oh, this is a Jurassic World toy. Yes, huge head. This is gigantic. So they don't have teeth, huh? Because yeah, I'm drawing from a reference toy. The toy has teeth. Not that I really think that they are all about the accuracy. Huge head. We'll leave off the teeth for now. All right, you need to shrink. You're too big. You know you're too big. You're already well aware of it. Let's see. Seeing like the back of it, going like this. And yeah, I saw your comment earlier, Larry, about digging something up. Hopefully you get a chance to find some old artwork and shoot it up. I don't think you have before. Maybe I'm totally blanking and that you have, and I'm lying, but I don't think I've seen. I don't think I've seen something you've done. Okay. It's to make them more scary and dangerous looking, I guess. Most paleo and nerds have accepted that we don't get accurate dinosaurs. Well, there you go. It's like, we're just going to have to accept this. Okay. Feet. Sorry, sometimes I read a comment and then I'm going to reply and then something else happens and I get distracted. And then I just forget. And then in my mind, I think, oh yeah, I already replied to that. And I clearly did not reply to that. But in my mind, I remember replying to it. Put this going this way. Gonna have to shrink again. Might be time to shrink some of the other stuff too. Do a little reset. Okay, you have notch. Okay. I would feel worse if you had. Like, whoops, this is awkward. There definitely has been times where people have shown me stuff and I forgot. And I asked for it again. And then I feel bad. Feels like I don't care, but that's not the truth. Let's see. Sorry for being late. I've got bad insomnia, so I literally just woke up. That's okay. Not a problem. It's okay. I'm glad that you made it. Even if it's not right at the start, that's quite okay. Anybody who's here when the show's live, it's appreciated for any duration of time. And if you watch the show after the fact, I appreciate that too. It's only a matter of time until Universal puts Jurassic Park dinosaurs into and Fast and Furious movies. I can't believe that franchise is still going. I really can't. I do remember seeing, I think, the first Fast and Furious. And I was like, okay, that was all right. That was a movie. And then it just kept going and going and going and going. And I've like seen none of them after like the first one. And I'm like, I don't really need to or want to, but all right. Make your money, I guess. People are willing to pay for it. People want to see it. Otherwise, they wouldn't be making it. Are they in space now? The cars are in space. Lindsay, I tried waking up to be here at the start, but my eyes were like, nah. You need to stay asleep. Yeah. Hopefully, like I said at the beginning, there is a plan to move the show next year into the evening time of Fridays to hopefully help the show continue to grow and evolve because it started to slow down quite a bit. The numbers have started to slow down. The views have slowed down. And I mean, there could be a lot of factors at play there, but I've also been hearing for a long time, not just this year, but for a long time, people have voiced their sadness in that they can't join the stream Friday mornings because of their own personal school commitments, work commitments, all kinds of life commitments. And I get that. So I am willing to give it a shot, try it out a different time. Okay, what is that? Like a yellowish. Dinosaurs are strong, but not as strong as family. Could watch with the kiddos. Yeah, nice. Like I said, I'm all about the kiddos. I like entertaining. That'd be cool. It's a family show. It's a family show. I said that a lot when I was at the Comic-Con last week, is that it's family friendly. I certainly don't curse on stream. I don't think I ever curse on stream. Maybe once or twice, maybe. Because I just don't actually curse really normally. It's not a normal part of my vocabulary. Happens. Believe me, if I get hurt, you'll probably hear some words. Something's super painful. I did dinosaur on the shape challenge. I turned one of the shapes that I got into a Triceratops. Did you curse for me? Thanks, Ray. Oh, you did. That's right. And my buddy John. John was one of the first guest artists that we had. He's my very close friend from college. One of my longest running friends. And he curses like a sailor. He's like, please don't. He did like 5 times in that stream. Please stop. I did not anticipate drawing a dinosaur today. That's pretty cool. I never know where the theme is going to take us, and I'm always pleasantly surprised. My kids have 24 days until school starts. Dang. Yeah. Well, we got to get back into the normal. If you haven't seen the YouTube channel Screen Rants Pitch Meeting, I think I have seen those. They're short and hilarious. The guy breaks down all the flaws of your favorite movie. Yeah, I think I have seen that. What I really enjoy, if especially for anybody that's into any of the Marvel stuff or Star Wars stuff, is Screen Crush. I've subscribed to Screen Crush, and there's a guy, Ryan Airy, who does breakdowns of like all the Easter eggs and references of every episode of any Marvel thing, of the movies, of Star Wars stuff, Mandalorian, Loki, WandaVision, even Star Trek stuff, Picard, Discovery, like every episode, and he knows what he is talking about. He goes into all of the Easter eggs and references to everything, and it is a tradition now for me to watch his videos after I watch whatever the thing is. Like I'll watch like an episode of The Bad Batch, and then he usually has this up the next day, and then the next day I'll watch the Screen Crush references video to see all the things. Really good stuff. I recommend. Yeah, right. And the manager Doug. Who's his dog? Yeah, it's really good. Like it's well made, well referenced, well researched. Like he knows what he's doing. And I think he partners with another channel called Heavy Spoilers a lot too. So they'll reference each other's channels sometimes. All right, let's do another one. What else we got? Let's see. Let me go back up and see suggestions for flight in our. We're in the last 40 minutes of today. Fork knife. Oh, you know what? I kind of want to. Speaking of flight, I'm gonna draw the duck hunt duck, actually, because I want to do that real quick. That's pixelated. Duck hunt duck. It'll be my second time in 2 weeks to draw this duck. Let's see. Yeah, that's the one. That was the reference I used last time. Let's get purple. A fake, yeah, fake rivalry. Yup. But yeah, it's good stuff. Good old fake pixels. So fake pixels here. Beak. Yeah, oh yeah. Gotta love the 8-bit art for sure. It is definitely an art form, and I do like seeing the artwork that 8-bit artists to this day do. They do some great stuff. Some of them just do absolutely amazing work. Then I'm like, what? That's 8-bit. It's astonishing. All right, I need like a, yep, like that. Oh yeah, I need to remember to go through my links. I'm gonna forget that. For some reason, the stupid link's not working. That's super dumb. Let's go down to here. So yeah, I hope everybody is having a good time, getting kind of some, maybe hopefully back to normal where you're at. I know I've definitely been doing more things, getting out there more as life is trying as hard as it can to get a little bit back to normal. Although apparently a lot of people still want to not get vaccinated and are risking us going back into quarantines and lockdowns, which is absolutely ridiculous. But I'm not going to think that's a possibility. I'm not going to think about that. Yeah, he went away for, he said, a couple minutes. He's somewhere. Clean it up a little bit. Yeah, at least the links on Twitch work. All of them do? That's weird. So it's just YouTube. Yeah, back to fun things, right? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, there you go, Larry. What a great day. My kids are moving out. Having a good time, having a good time. All right, this is supposed to be white, but you can't see white. So I'm going to do this like very light blue. Otherwise, we won't be able to see anything. This is the duck that I drew when I was at the scout camp as my target. It was not shot at.
The way you're doing the pixelated duck is awesome.
This is exactly the pose that I did when I was at camp too. I just felt like drawing it again. So there it is.
Yeah. Good stuff.
That was my target. It was funny because this one kid asked if he could keep it. Every time I drew something, one of the kids would ask if they could keep it. I'm like, all right, there you go. And he took it, and then he ran over to the staff, and he's like, look what I drew. And she was like, you drew that? And he's like, yeah. It's funny. Kids. From the mouth of babes. All right, there's our duck hunt duck. What is this? What is this thing I missed? Fun fact. I missed something. Where did it go? Fun fact. All my stuff is practically ruined from the year in storage, which is great. Just great. That's awful. Did you have an outdoor storage? Don't quack it up. I had all of my stuff has been sitting in my basement, like basically set up because I've been toying around with it for the entire year. So I've been rearranging things and setting up a different setup for the table and the booth, and all my products have been sitting in totes. So they don't get affected by any type of anything. The kids are using me, yeah, 100%. They learn piracy young these days. Yeah, outdoor shed. Yeah, I can kind of see that. What was this? Like, so like ruin? Elaborate on ruin. All right. Like you can't use anything. Golden Light Picture says all the drawings are looking quite good. Thank you. I was kind of not like, I was really rusty. I'm still, I don't know if I'm quite there yet, but I appreciate that. Now he is miserable and everyone is pissed at him. So yeah, it's his own fault. My uncle is stubborn. Oh, what is this about? Uncle doing something, not doing something. They never believe until it's about them. Yep, Steve, that's right. It's amazing. Amazing. Oh yeah, he believes viruses that didn't want it. Yep. Yep, there it is. Isn't it amazing? All right, let's see. Kiki on a broomstick. Okay. Let's do that one. Get some anime in here. Brian loves anime. All right.
Yeah.
I have not seen this one. Have you seen
Kiki's
Kiki?
delivery service? No.
Yeah.
There's still a couple movies on the list I want to see just for the sake of being culturally well-rounded, but I haven't gotten a chance to yet.
Yep.
I keep having people tell me like, oh, you should watch this show. It's so good. Oh, man, you would love it. And how many episodes? Oh, like 102. What?
There.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I really want to watch, but there's so much backlog to go through that I'm like, okay, I'll one day. Like
my level of investment is like, you know what? I don't really care super much to watch it in the first place. So like, why am I gonna like carve out all this time to maybe?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, it really does take a crazy amount of time. Like there's a couple shows that I'd really love to get into, but there's so much backlog to get through. Like I'd really like to watch Doctor Who. I've never seen any Doctor Who, and I'd like to, but it's like I've seen nothing, and there's a lot to chew through. And then I've also been interested in like Stargate, and again, there's like a lot to go through. Like, all right, it's very daunting. It's like, well, eventually.
Yeah, it's just better off to be like, you know what? I'm not even gonna bother. That's it. Just give up. You know.
Just give.
It's easy.
That sounds like a new product. It's just give up. It's easy. Are these some of Brian's new demotivational posters?
That's going to be a part of the Etsy new Etsy shop I'm going to launch, separate from Bricks O'Brien.
What's that one going to be called?
I don't know, but it's going to be something realistic. Just give up. You know, something.
It's so sad. It's tragedy.
It's the truth.
All right, what's up, Bama Bricks? Usually, okay, yeah. Functional but dirty, rusted, and nasty. Oh, that's awful. Doctor Who is very hit or miss. There's some amazing storylines, but there's some real stinker segments yet.
Stinkers.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Stargate is less than Doctor Who for sure. And yeah, I have seen Firefly. I've seen Firefly and in the movie, right? There's a movie and the show, and I've seen both of those. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Oh, Steve really put the bug in my ear, so I posted on Facebook. You know, it's one of those posts just to kind of get people talking. I'm like, hey, I'm at Boba's. What do you want me to pick up for pastries for people? And then Steve put it as a comment. He's like, you should bring cannolis down to Virginia. And I'm like,
I mean,
I could, because he said the Cannoli Louis demotivational merch.
they were decadent.
Well, I'm glad they were good when you guys were here.
They were great.
Yeah,
They were great. It was a wonderful little like end. It was like it was the way to end. It's good.
Mm.
And that pizza.
I know
was
you're not
always
joking,
good.
Steve. I don't have a container to have him in though. That's 7 hours for a drive.
You would need to put them in a cooler,
Yeah, I don't have a cooler.
and you're also gonna have stuff. You might have.
Yeah,
giant
so my
boxes.
entire trunk area is full, but I still have the back seat and front seat, so
Yeah.
plenty of room.
Okay, we need to move you a little bit. I think you're gonna have to also get shrunk.
No, Steve, we're gonna eat the cannolis at the convention center in front of everyone else and have them be jealous of us. That's how it's gonna go.
You just everybody. I brought cannolis. This is an empty box. Oops, it was a long drive. I'm sorry. Get another one of the bricks.
The brick.
I can't believe that's crazy.
Steve's like, wait, but no, Brian, if you get a small cooler, I have a big cooler and we can get the cooler. You're really trying to push this narrative of the cannolis. I'd have to go the night before because you can't park during the day in Boston. Not really.
You towed?
No, it's just it gets a little difficult. You might have to do a little bit of parallel parking, which I mean I can do, but I'd prefer not to. And since Bova's is 24/7, you can go at like 3 a.m. and just pick up the same stuff.
When I did driving lessons, my driving instructor said to not ever parallel park.
Yeah, it's
like,
not great.
I mean, I was in high school, and he was like, "I'm going to tell you this. I don't want to. You can do it, but I'd rather you not. And so I'd rather not teach you so that you don't ever do it." So I was like, okay. So I've like never had to do it. I've luckily never like been forced into a spot where I have to.
And then if I get stuff for me and you, Steve, I want to get something for Kirk, and then for the O'Hanlons. And then where do you draw the line? You know what I mean?
Where does it end?
Where does it end? Well, and then Joseph Sawada is going to appear in the chat, be like, "Oh, I would absolutely love a cannoli." Like, all right, here we go.
Here it is.
The next person.
All right, see you later, Primal Gamer. They do sell cannolis in DC. What do you think? Your Boston cannolis are so much better?
Yeah, they are, Bobo. And then Bobo Lavelle's going to be like, well, if the Boston cannolis are that much better, I'll give you a couple of dollars if you pick me up one, because I'm going to be there at the show.
Prove it.
Right, exactly.
Yep, that's about how that goes.
I went there Tuesday night after I had a meeting. I got a whoopie pie and a piece of pizza.
That place that we went to?
No, they were closed by that point. But Bova's has like cheese slices throughout the night, so I had one of those. I wish Regina's was open. Oh, that'd have been great.
I'm glad to see that I so far, unless I've missed it, there hasn't been any of that weird flashing that my tablet does sometimes.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of it, and I didn't do anything. Oh, actually, the OS updated. I don't know if that was the thing, but it did update last night. I noticed I woke up and it was when I woke up, the computer had restarted. Like, you just had a major update of Microsoft OS or something, or not my Apple
Windows.
OS.
Or, yeah, Mac.
Yeah,
Mac OS X.
I can hear them. They're bringing in the cannolis.
It's all the cannolis being backed up into the office.
I heard you had a big order. How many of these you want?
I heard Steve wanted some cannolis. We got as many as you could need.
Oh yeah,
That's like a Watto voice, which I totally anticipate embodying a week from now, where it's like,
Hey, look at all the Hinkle wares in the back of my van.
hey, yo, you want to strike a deal?
You want to strike a deal?
Sir, if you could please present your vaccination card.
I put my vaccination card on Facebook. Everyone knows I'm vaccinated.
So far, I got an email from Kineticon,
Yeah.
which is not my next show, but it's a show in the almost immediate future. And they're the only show so far that has sent out an email saying everybody, vendors, public, doesn't matter. They said, bring your vaccination card and you will not be permitted into the building unless you prove that you've been vaccinated. Because, I mean, obviously, they've posted, yes, wear a mask if you're not vaccinated or just be vaccinated. But everyone's been able to go to the last show and everyone's going to be I haven't gotten anything for Fan Expo Boston. I haven't gotten anything for Terrificon. But Kineticon was the one that was like, nope, everybody bring it. We're telling you now, bring it or you're not getting in the building.
Usually, Kineticon is the one show that's like, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's surprising.
I was so surprised. I was like, all right, okay, interesting.
That was more like Roz's voice from Monsters Inc. No, hello.
Republic credits are no good here.
Public credits are no good here. Would you like to buy some secondhand plastic?
No, they won't.
Todd won't let me have a table in the convention hall. Can you believe it? We got all the things in the truck.
Yeah. Oh, did you sign up for the you need to sign up for the yard sale ahead of time, and pay.
Oh, wait, you wanted me to do that?
Well, I'm not there. I can't do this. So.
I literally was going to be like, yeah, I got stuff in the back of my truck.
I mean, you can do that too. That's fine. You can do as many parking lot deals as you want.
That's what I was going to do. Well, I thought about, okay, so side tangent thing. We're talking about this publicly. Why not? I wanted to take your cart so I can load stuff around. Oh, no, wait, you have a show, don't you?
I will. Yeah, I'll literally be using the car. I'm sorry. I would not have cared. I've been like, yeah, but
yeah, right. That's why
I
I'm
use
like,
it to load in.
But I was gonna just roll my cart around the convention center and be like, "Hey, who wants to buy my stuff?" And then I think it was Joseph Zawada who's like, "Todd won't let you do that." I'm like, "You think I care?" Roll around the convention
and ring the bell,
right?
Just like ding 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 ding. That's pretty funny. Yeah, that's a shame. Yeah, because I use it to take in the stuff. Unfortunately.
Well, that yard sale gets crazy. All of them just
yeah. That's I mean, I don't know why people are eating, but I mean, it does get crazy, and there's a lot of there's a lot of people that try to get in on it, which is why you have to sign up ahead of time.
Oh man, but that's what they're like around the table. Like, what do you have for a deal?
Yep, they do. It gets wild. But yes, I've done many parking lot deals too. So at that show, even so. Oh,
I'm gonna pull my truck right up next to the entrance. Be like, everyone get in line. If I just say I have the Hinkle wares, I can throw my stuff in there too and be like, all right, yeah, it's all
been touched. It has all come from the same vault. Don't you worry about it.
By the Hink.
Yeah. All right, there we go. That was yeah, there you go. There she is. The child of Watto and Roz. Oh.
The voice got better as I used it a little more. I got a little more craggle in there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16. Man.
You got time for one more.
I do.
One more small scale one.
I need to shrink some things. What do you think? What should be the last one here?
Flying cannoli.
It was a cannoli with wings.
Is there like an obvious like, oh my goodness, it's flight. Why didn't you do this? Is there any of those yet that you can think of? I mean, we've got vehicles, we've got some animals, we've got some video games and some pop culture characters.
Flying pig, that's a good one.
A
Ghost.
Ooh, a ghost? Yeah.
You do like a classic ghost. I mean, that's black and white. That's not really.
Yeah.
You could do Watto.
Yeah, that's true.
Very
think I'm gonna-
Wright
I think-
Brothers plane was done a couple weeks ago, but that's a good suggestion.
I think I'm gonna do this flying pig.
All right.
That seems funny. But yeah, we did do the Wright Brothers plane on the vehicle stream.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy
What, O'Brien?
coming at you.
Are you sure you got
It's just a craggle.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Tommy? Nice to see you.
Tommy?
How you doing? Strong swinging in here at the last 10 minutes. Always appreciate you being here. Yeah, I did Tommy, I did a vehicle stream. I mean, now it was probably a couple months ago at this point, but we had some good vehicles and we did the Wright Brothers plane in that one. And I do not have any particular issues with drawing things again. I just try to space them out a little bit.
That voice is bad for your health. Larry, I don't need to be ridiculed by a guy who has a Lego Deadpool as his profile picture on YouTube. All right, listen, I got my life right in order.
Oh, goodness gracious.
She.
This pig that I'm looking at in this reference photo has very lovely eyelashes. For some reason.
The fabulous flying pig.
Yeah. It's got some fantastic eyelashes. Dun dun. And yep. Yep. Yeah, this is kind of adorable.
So what else you got planned for the weekend?
It's the normal stuff, you know, mow the lawn, do the laundry, grocery shop.
Yeah, you're so old.
I mean, it never stops. So
Yeah.
that's the normal weekend routine. So I gotta do that.
You could just replace your lawn with rocks.
Ugh. That's like Arizona.
I mean, might as well. Larry, you should take up smoking to prevent it or to perfect it. Yeah.
It's a good suggestion.
Dude, it's so obnoxious like hearing people that have like popcorn lung and they're just dry heaving constantly. Ugh.
Well, as I've said multiple times, I couldn't get over the last year every time I saw people with, you know, masks on their chin and cigarettes in their mouth. It's like,
Yep.
right. It's just
Or
like,
vape.
I mean, you know, I get it. It's your choice. You can do that. It's just, to me, it's just like, I'm going to choose how I die. All right. I'm not going to die this way. I'm going to die this way. It's like, okay. It's so weird. It's just a weird visual to me. Still can't really quite get over it.
Yeah. That's why you don't smoke. Exactly.
All right.
There's
There's,
not.
our,
Yep, there's a pig.
there's the pig. And
Trying to think of what I got going on this weekend. I'm doing a podcast tomorrow.
how was your first Tuesday with no stream in the afternoon?
It was a little uneventful. You know, I had a meeting that day anyway, so like I had something to do, but it's definitely
Did you feel it? Did you feel it not being there? Or
not exactly, because I mean there's been periods where we haven't done the show for a little while, like during December we didn't do it really.
oh,
So
I heard.
you know.
I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah.
In my mind, it's just kind of been constant for ever.
Right. So no, I didn't necessarily feel it. I think I will eventually. I think I'll feel it after I go to Virginia, and there's probably going to be people that recognize me from that or say how much they enjoyed it, and then you come back and then you're not doing it, you know.
Wait, what does this say? Pigs often have long eyelashes. They are fabulous, not just fabulously delicious. Yes, fabulous. All right, let's do color the pig. Tommy says, just woke up. Yeah, no problem, Tommy. No problem. So yeah, nothing crazy exciting. Just the same. More of the same, you know. But
That's really just an angel pig flying around after a barbecue. Oh man.
it might be my favorite drawing of today. The pig. Oh man. But there's always some good ones in here.
Yo, that's something about Virginia I'm looking forward to is like barbecue.
Are you gonna go to that Hoosick place?
You
It's like the dessert's not really that great. It's just more of it's the entertainment. It's like, and it's only entertaining if you go with people that've never gone. So it's like,
I feel like Kirk would be super tripped up by that.
oh, why am I coloring these wings? Should
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing?
I had a
Yeah.
what are you doing? But yeah, it's fun place to take people that have never gone, and you gotta like run and ditch them. Like you gotta
Right.
sprint and then wait and then be like, where'd you go? Where are you? But yeah, I mean, I've gone now, over the years several times, and none of their desserts really that great. It's like I've tried a bunch of their things. I'm like, no, this is really that great.
Yeah.
Just get yourself a little like, whatever milkshake or whatever they've got, and then just call it and sit in the back.
Yeah, I plan on getting dinner with Steve, Kirk, Joe, whoever else on Wednesday, because not a lot of people are going to be around, or maybe not. So I want to do barbecue or something.
On Wednesday, there'll probably be more than you think.
Well, I mean, the O'Hanlons won't be there,
You mean like more inner circle people for you?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, you got to remember this is one of the meccas, man. There's just everywhere.
Yeah.
To quote Owen Wilson, you can't throw a rock and not hit an AFL around that area during that time. That whole week, actually, that entire week.
Yeah. Do you have any good recommendations for barbecue down there since you've been?
Well, I mean, everybody goes to Willard's. It's right, like literally right there, and it's not bad.
Yeah.
I just don't like. I've never been like blown away by it. I'm just
Sure.
like, okay, it's there. But like, there's so many things right there that I never really venture too far away.
Oh, you know what I plan on doing? No, scratch all that. Gonna do Chick-fil-A every meal
Every
for
day.
4 days.
Nice.
Except Sunday.
Well, that's the Lord's Day, bro.
It's on.
No Chick-fil-A. No Chick-fil-A.
No.
I mean, at least once though.
Yes. It'll probably be a breakfast because I don't normally have Chick-fil-A for breakfast.
I really enjoy their breakfast burritos.
Mm.
That's that, and I've also been known to enjoy the little minis. They have like the little chicken minis on the like honey biscuits or whatever. So I would say out of all the options there, that's I think probably like out of you got like Taco Bell, Wendy's, McDonald's, Arby's, like that's the best fast food breakfast probably there.
Yeah. Other than like Dunks.
Is there one of those there though?
Not in that plaza, but like 4 minutes away. And then I'm not staying at that same hotel. I'm staying at a courtyard or a little mile away.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, that's 4 minutes away. What are you doing? It's so far. I'm like, shut up.
The thing that's really annoying about that is that it's not far away, but because of all the major highways and stuff, it's not at all walkable.
Yeah.
Which irritates me because I've stayed at hotels that are like right in that area, a little bit down the road multiple times. And I actually like it, I think more, but it irritates me that because of how the highways are laid out, it's just really not walkable. Like it would be like, I don't know, maybe a 10-minute walk. And that's not bad. It'd be nice in the morning, have a little walk over there, but it's like, I can't really cross this major highway. So it's like, well, either you drive or you don't, and it's like, that's what always irritated me about that. Cause I also kind of felt stupid, like kind of silly getting in my car to drive like your destination is in 3 minutes. It's like, this is so dumb. Like, the pig is the winner, says Larry. All right, let me get this comment off the screen. It's a good one. There's always some good ones. I'm always pleasantly surprised in where we go with the themes, I think. So we only got a couple minutes left. You have just enough time for the Banshee, says Larry. That's nice. That's nice. Let's see. You wouldn't be the first, Brian, says Ray. Tommy says, you think my weird photos would work at a Comic-Con thing? No, I don't think so, Tommy. I don't think that audience would get it. To be honest, I don't think so. Maybe at like an art fair, like a arts and crafts kind of thing, or a craft fair. Comic-Con, I don't see it at Comic-Con. To quote Owen Wilson, wow. All right, so let's take a tour, okay? Let's do it. Let's take a tour. Everybody, shall we take a tour? Let's take a tour. All right, so today's theme was flight, and that was suggested by HawkeyeLegoman, one of my patrons. We are currently going through all patron-submitted ideas for the show until the foreseeable future. We have quite a few to run through, and I'll let you guys know what the next one's going to be when we finish. So we've got, up here, this was Hawkeye's idea for a warm-up. So before I went live, this is a hawk that's on fire, flaming wings, and flaming eye was the exact. And Brian's like, it's a phoenix. It's not supposed to be a phoenix, but similar, yes. Okay, we've got the duck from Duck Hunt. We've got Kite Man. I think that's specifically from the Harley Quinn animated series, I think is what I was referencing. Here's a pig with wings, flying pig. Here's the wonderful natural disaster of the Hindenburg blimp.
It wasn't a natural disaster. It was a
man-made disaster.
Yeah.
Man-made disaster. Toothless the dragon from How to Train Your Dragon. Here's Superman flying. Here is Kiki on her broomstick from Kiki's Delivery Service. Here is a pterodon. Oops. Dang it. There we go. And here is Eggman, or as I will forever know him as Dr. Robotnik, because that's how he was first introduced to me, Dr. Robotnik, and his little eggmobile. Here is a cockapoo. That's okay. Here's the rat bird. The rat bird from Cloud Chance. It's kind of hard to tell because I didn't color it this one because of the time, but this is the slice of cheese in its hand. It's holding that slice of cheese right there. We've got Bowser's airship from the Super Mario universe. And here's Da Vinci's flying contraption helicopter thing. Here is Aang's glider from Avatar: The Last Airbender. This is a, I don't remember the name. It's a very specific military helicopter. I like that. I like that one a lot too. And then we've got a Japanese flying squid. This is wild that these things are just flying around. And that's crazy. Yeah, Dr. Robotnik for sure. Eggman is a lame name. I think Eggman's like a funny, like a nickname, like if Sonic's like whatever Eggman, like, you know, like a bullying nickname, but his name's like Dr. Robotnik. That's his name. All right. That's flight. That's all the flight ideas. A reminder, there is no stream next week again. I know you guys are all thrown off every other week. I seem to not have one because every other week I can't do one. So next week is Terrificon. So I will be working at another show. Let me go. I'm looking at my Patreon so I can get the next theme. Brian, is there anything you'd like to share, talk about, promote, plug while you got people here?
Yeah, well, tonight I'm going to be doing Fortnite Fridays at 5. Tomorrow I'm doing a podcast with Andy of Stand Up to Cancer on his live stream. I'll be promoting that across my socials, talking about all sorts of things. I'll be taking a little bit of time off next week for Brick Fair, Virginia. So if you are a Lego person and you want to see me there, you can. And otherwise, it's going to be a good week. Lots of hotness being cooked up. I'm looking at a little bit of it right now. Good stuff in the future. You know what I mean? Meow, meow.
What's the you said today you're doing that other stream, that podcast thing?
No, tomorrow morning at 11.
At 11. What's the like topics? Just life in general? You?
No, it'll be about gaming, some Lego talk, content creation, a lot of nuts and bolts stuff. It'll be a good time. It's like a retro gaming podcast sort of thing, but we're going to touch on everything pretty much.
Gotcha. I like nuts and bolts podcasts. Those are the best.
Yeah, I'll promote it on socials. I'll remind you personally though.
Nice. All right, cool. Thanks for being here again. Appreciate it. Appreciate your assistance. So there's no stream next Friday. The following Friday, let me make sure. Yep, I am here. There will be a stream. But the following Friday, our next theme is aliens, and that is suggested by Funny Figs. So Ray, you got to make sure you're here because that's yours. That's yours, buddy. Ray was the next patron to make a suggestion, and he suggested aliens. So that is what we will be doing next. So yes, that'll be awesome. All right. Thank you guys again for watching this show live today. Those of you that are watching live, as another reminder, if you're not already subscribed on YouTube, please hit the subscription button. Very, very close to 1,000. It's really, really important to hit that because then I can click that magic switch and maybe make a couple pennies. That'd be nice. Tell your friends, tell your family, use all your burner accounts. If you're watching on Twitch or Facebook, throw me a follow. It would be greatly appreciated. If you enjoyed the show, let me know. Let me know you had a good time. Hit the thumbs up, hit the likes, hit the hearts, hit all the things. It does make a difference. All those things make a difference. It lets me know that you guys enjoy the content that is being provided to you. The Doodle Stream airs every Friday morning from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern, unless I say otherwise on social media. So make sure you're following me on social media at MrHinkleDraws. And have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you again to Hawkeye for suggesting today's theme and all my incredible patrons for helping me do what I do. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Friday. Have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you guys back here 2 weeks from now. See ya.